Alright, hi everyone. I'm back with another video. This time I'm doing a maths paper, and this is the Kelantan paper. So I have the Kelantan trial for 2025, and this is the Mathematic Kertas 1. Okay. Okay, so I will start now. Oh, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this. All right? Okay, so I'm gonna start. Okay, question number one. Which number is round off correctly to three significant figures? So significant figures, angka bererti. So you need to know how to round off lah. So let's go through A, B, C, D and see which one is correct. Okay, 6, 7, 3, 2. If you count three significant figures, you have to count from the left. So 1, 2, 3, and then you draw a line. And before you erase this number, you have to check whether this next number uh is it 5 or bigger than 5? Because if it's 5 or bigger than 5, then you have to plus 1 here. So 2 is not bigger than 5. So when you round off, it becomes 6730. Right? Okay, so this is obviously wrong lah. Okay, so what about the next one? Okay, the zero on the left side, we don't count it as significant figures. Yeah, the zero on the left side, we don't count it. Okay, so we start counting from here. 1, 2, 3, and draw a line. Before you erase this, check whether this next number is 5 or bigger than 5. So now it's 2, so it's less than 5, so I don't have to plus 1. So the answer will just be 0.0153. Okay, then the 2, what happens? The 2 will disappear. You will not write 0. Okay, you will not write 0. So this is correct. So the answer is B, boy. Okay. Okay, I'm going to mention why you cannot write 0.01530. Because if you write like this, it becomes 4 significant figures. Because the 0 at the right side, we actually count it as significant figure if there's a decimal in the number. If there's a decimal point in the number. Okay. So for the A just now, 6732. The 2, I don't have to plus 1, right? But why can't I just write 673? It's because the 0 at the, because you think logically lah, how can 6,000 something and then after you round off becomes 600 something? It's not logic. So the 2, actually we write it 6730. That's why the after you round off those three significant figure, you get 6730. And the 0 at the right side, we don't count it. Yeah. If there's decimal point, only we count the 0 at the right side. So I repeat one more time. The 0 on the left side memang tak payah kira forever. Doesn't matter got decimal point or no decimal point. The 0 on the left side, we will never count it as significant figures. But the 0 on the right side, we will count it only when there's a decimal point. Uh, when there's a decimal point anywhere on this value, then we will count the 0 on the right side. Okay, that's why this one we count it. So that's why it's not correct to write the 0. Because they want three significant figures. So if you write the 0, it becomes 4. That's why B is the answer. Okay, I will explain C and D also. Same thing. We will count from the left. 1, 2, 3. And remember, the 0 on the left side, we don't count it, right? But this one, there's no 0. So I count like this and then draw a line. Okay, this is 5, so I have to plus 1. So when you plus 1, it becomes 43.8. And then this whole thing erased already. So the correct answer is 43.8. But they write 43.7. So that is why this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. And I repeat one more time, you can't write the 0, 0 here. Because if you write the 0, 0, it's become 5 significant figure already. Why do we count the 0 on the right side? Is because there's a decimal point. When there is a decimal point anywhere in the value, you will count the 0 on the right side as significant figures. That is why you shouldn't write the 0, 0. Okay, so C is wrong. What about this? 1, 2, 3, draw a line. Okay, the next number is 5. So do I have to plus 1? Yes. So you end up with 877. But the 0, 0, you should write it. Why this time I have to write it is because imagine you round off 87,000. How come you round off you get 877? It's not logic, right? And also, there's no decimal point anywhere in this number. That means the 0 on the right side, we don't count it as significant figure. So you can just write the 0, 0. It's still 3 significant figure, by the way. This is still 3 significant figure. Okay, so this is the answer. But if you look at what they write here, it's 87600. So it doesn't match with the correct answer. So this is wrong. So which number is correct? B boy is the answer. Okay, that's all. Number 2, which of the following straight line is parallel to x-axis? Okay, x-axis is the horizontal axis, and it will look like this, right? So the line that is parallel to this will be y equals number. So the answer is B boy. Okay, yeah, because if you want your line to be parallel to x-axis, that means this line will not intersect the x-axis, because two lines that are parallel will not intersect each other. Okay, so what line will not intersect the x-axis? A horizontal line. Okay, a horizontal line, and a horizontal line will be y equals to k. The k can be any value. Okay, it means your equation will only have one variable, which is y. Okay, so C and D automatic wrong, because C and D there's two variable, and when there's two variable, it will be a second line. When there's x and y like that, two variable, you can actually find out the x-intercept by substituting the y0. Because when you ganti y0, you will get the x-intercept. But I just told you, the line cannot sentuh x-axis, cannot intersect x-axis, cannot have x-intercept. So if you ganti y0, you actually get some number, right? You get some number, you get a solution for x, basically. Same with the a also, y cannot. Okay, a is also one variable, but x equals 5 is a vertical line that will cut x-axis at 5. All right, so actually there is x-intercept. Okay, so in other words, the straight line that is parallel to x-axis cannot have a x answer when you sub y equals 0. Okay, yeah, so if you sub y0 here, you get x equals something. This one, there's no y, it's just x equals 5. That means it will be a vertical line cutting the x-axis at 5. So the answer is automatic B. Okay, and B is, if you pinna the minus 3, it becomes y equals 3, and this is a horizontal line. So y equals 3 will be like this lah. This is your y-axis, x-axis, and this is your y3, and then the horizontal line. Okay, so yeah, this line and x-axis is parallel. So B boy is the answer. All right. Okay, number 3, if y equals x squared minus 6x plus 9, what are the coordinates of the minimum point for the graph of this function? So the soalan asks for minimum point. Okay, there's two methods you learn in maths. Okay, if you take maths, there's actually three methods lah. Okay, but since I'm doing a maths paper, I'll just explain the two method that we learn in the maths. Okay, for maths. Okay, the first method to find minimum point is you find out the roots. Okay, you find out the roots. So the roots means you find out the x1 and the x2. In other words, you find out the x-intercept. Okay, you find out the x-intercept, but you have to ganti y kosong lah, because that's how you find x-intercept. And after you ganti y kosong, you will hopefully get two x answers, and then you take both answers plus together and then divide by 2 to get the axis of symmetry. Okay, to get the axis of symmetry, or you can say the x coordinate of the turning point, and then you take the x value, you sub x into equation, and then find y, and then you will have your turning point. That's the first method. Okay. Second method is you use this formula, x equals negative b over 2a. Okay, this method is like you can get it very fast lah. You can get your axis of symmetry very fast. Okay, and after you get your axis of symmetry, then you have your x coordinate already for the minimum point. Then to get the y coordinate, you just sub lah, sub x into equation, and then find y, and then you get your turning point, right? Okay, I will do it using the second method, okay, because that's the faster way to do it. So I will use okay, since it's already general form, so I can straight away use this formula, x equals negative b over 2a. So the b will be the number before x, which is negative 6, and then a is the number before x squared, which is 1. So negative 6 is 6, 2 times 1 is 2, so it's x equals to 3. And what is this? This is the axis of symmetry. It means if I draw the graph, okay, this one confirm will be like a happy face because the A is positive, right? And the axis of symmetry is x equals to 3. That means the x coordinate of the minimum point is 3. And to get the to get the y coordinate, you just sub the x equals 3 inside here. So it becomes y equals bracket square minus 6 bracket plus 9. And then the x is 3, 3. And now you just press everything in your calculator and you should get 9 plus 9, 18 minus 18 is 0. So the point is 3, 0. So the answer is A. Okay, that's how you do it, right? Of course, you can also do it like this. If you do it like this, you have to, just like I said just now, you have to sub y equals 0 to find the x-intercept, and then press calculator A, B, C, and you get two answer. Take the two answer plus together, divide 2, and you will get 3 also. And then you sub inside to find the y, and then you end up with the same answer. Okay, yeah, so please make sure you know these two methods lah. Both method also you need to know, because there are times where you cannot use this method, because not all equation has roots. Not all quadratic equation has roots. Yeah, for equation yang tak ada roots, you must do it like that. That's the only way. Yeah, for equation that don't have roots, yeah, you can't use this method. You have to use the other one. Okay, just make sure you know both lah. All right. Okay, I want to continue with number 4. Express the 27 base 9 base 3. This is definitely from 4 chapter 2 number base chapter. In Bahasa Melayu is asas nombor. So they want to convert a base 9 number to base 3 number. So from base 9 to base 3, actually there's no shortcut. There's no shortcut. You have to change to base 10 first, and then baru change to base 3. Okay. Only base 2 to base 8 and base 8 to base 2 other shortcut. Base 2 and base 8 and base 8 to base 2, that one you can change directly. You can change directly without passing through base 10. Yeah, you can straight away change like that. Okay. But base 9 to base 3, there is no shortcut. You must change to base 10 first. So let's change 27 base 9 to base 10. Okay, how to change a smaller base to base 10? Darab or bahagi? You're changing a smaller base to base 10 so darab lah. Darab. And you have to write down the place value up here and then darab later. So the place value for base 9 number for the last digit will be 9 power 0. This will be 9 power 1. Okay, always start with power 0 and then power 1. And then now you will darab this number times with the number down here. So 9 times 2 is 18 plus with 9 power 0, which is 1 times 7 is 7. And then 18 plus 7, that's the answer, 25 base 10. Okay, but you want to change to base 3. So now you are changing base 10 to base 3. So how to change base 10 to a smaller base like base 3? You bahagi lah, you divide. So the divide method looks like this, 25, and then here you used to write the remainder and you divide by 3. Okay, so 3 times what gives you 25? Okay, I know 3 times 8 is 24, but there I want 25, so there's a remainder of 1. Repeat the same process. 3 times what is 8? Okay, 3 times 2 is 6, but I want 8. So 8 minus 6, the remainder is 2. And do one more time. 3 times 1 is 3, so it's already lebih already. So I do 3 times 0, because 3 times 0 is 0, and I want 2. 2 minus 0 is 2, so the remainder here is 2. So that's the answer. Baca dari bawah ke atas, so 2, 2, 1. So the answer is B, boy. Okay, so 2, 2, 1 base 3. Okay, yeah, this is how the bahagi punya cara. This is how you should do the bahagi punya cara. You should divide until this thing becomes 0, and then baca the remainder from dari bawah ke atas. Alright, that's all. Okay, number 5. In diagram 1, PQRSTU and ABCDRQ are two regular hexagon. So where is it? ABCDRQ. Okay, this one, and the PQRSTU, and okay, this one big one. They are two regular hexagon. So what's the meaning of regular? Regular means all the side sama panjang. Yeah, all 6 sides sama panjang. Yeah, hexagon has 6 sides. Okay, so if all the 6 sides same length sama panjang, it means all the angle also same size, and the angle will be 120. Yeah, it will be exactly 120. Okay, let me tell you how I get this value. It's because I hafal already. But if you tak hafal, you can use this formula. Sum of interior angles equals to n minus 2 times 180. What's the meaning of interior angle? Interior angle means sudut dalam. And then sum is the jumlah. So how to get the jumlah sudut dalam? You ambil n minus 2 times 180. That's the formula. N we guna untuk masuk berapa bilangan side. So hexagon got 6 sides. So 6 minus 2 times 180. And you get 720, right? And since all, okay, 720 is the sum of interior angle ataupun jumlah sudut dalam semua ni. And since all the 6 angle are all same size, you can just divide by 6 to get 120. That is why each angle here is 120. Same with this hexagon, because they already said this other one is also regular hexagon. So this will be 120 also. Same with this is also 120. Okay, this whole thing is also 120, but they already cut this hexagon in half. Did you see it? They cut it in half using this line. So I don't think it will be 120. Yeah, I think it will be like 60, 60 already lah. Okay, but it's okay. We leave it first. But this one is 120 for sure. And then here, okay, this is not 120. Yeah, the 120 is from here to here, including the small part. Okay, tapi ada satu line kacau. So I don't want to write first lah, because there's a line kacau here. Okay, so I will just stop here and then continue reading. PUVWX is a regular pentagon. You see this word again, regular. Dalam bahasa Melayu is sekata. So where is PUVWX? Here, 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 here. So this is the one. So if it's a regular pentagon, means all the 5 sides should be same length, sama panjang. That means all these 5 angles should be equal also. And let me tell you, the angle will be 108. And if you ask me, sir, how you know it's 108? Well, same formula again lah. But this time the n you guna 5. So 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 times 180 you press, you get 540. But you have to divide by 5, because the 540 because all the 5 angle here are all same size, because it's regular pentagon. So you divide 5, you get each 108 lah. Of course here is also 108. Okay, yeah, like that, 108. Okay, not including this small portion, not including this, because you can see the pentagon stop here, right? So not including the atas punya part. Okay, so you can see I actually find my y already. And the soalan asked us to find value of x plus y plus z. Okay, so my y have already 108. Okay, my z I can find it easily also. Okay, my z is here. So you can see this is one circle, right? So one circle total is 360. So to get z, you just tekan 360 minus 120 minus 120, and you get 120 if you press. Okay, now the only thing left is to find x, because if I can find x, then I can take all three numbers, add together, then I will get my answer already lah. Okay, where is x? Okay, not this x, that's the alphabet. Okay, I'm trying to find the x angle, so it's this one x. Okay, you can see the x angle is a part of the 108 degree. Yeah, this sudut x is sebahagian daripada 108, because 108 is x but including here, right? So that's a problem. So is there any way that I can find this? Because if I can find this, then it's good, because if I can find this, then I can take 108 minus this to get the x. But do I have any method to find this? The answer is yes, but you have to use the hexagon to help you lah. So let me highlight for you. So if you want to find this angle, you cannot use this shape, because this shape doesn't help. Yeah, it doesn't help. But you can use this shape. This one you can find it. You know why? Because this is actually half the hexagon. You remember these six sides, but you cut it in half, ma. So now, when you cut it in half, you know from here to here is 120. Do you agree? 120, right? The 108 is not including dalam here, right? So now you actually have a quadrilateral that looks like this. This is 120, this is 120, this one don't know, this one don't know, right? But you know this is, how to say? These two angle is will be same size. Yeah, it will be same size, because it's basically a regular hexagon cut in half. So definitely this will be same size. So you can take 360, because this shape has four sides. If it's four sides, you got the n4 here, it will become 4 minus 2 times 180, which gives you 360. That means the sum of interior angle inside here is 360. But you have to minus 120 two times, and then divide by 2 to get each of this angle, right? Okay, if you press this, 360 minus 120 is 120, divided by 2 is 60. Wait, is it correct? 360, yeah, correct. That means each angle here is 60, 60 lah. So this is 60. So now I can find x, because x is just 108 minus 60. Agree? Because 108 is from here to here, right? But x is only here. So you minus with the 60, then you get the balance. So what is 108 minus 60? 48, right? 48. Okay, the soalan asks for x plus y plus z. So now let's add everything up. Okay, I'll use my calculator. 108 plus 120. Okay, for this part, you can use your calculator and you get 276. All right, let's scroll down and hope there is an answer there. Okay, I see it. That's the answer. C. Okay, let's do number 6. Given that p over 6 equals 7p minus 1 over square root q, express q in terms of p. Okay, q in terms of p means cari q. It means cari q, and means q kena single. Q kena single, kena cari q. So if you look at the question now, mana you punya q? Here at the bottom, dekat bawah. So if the thing you want to find stay at the bottom, you will always do this. You will try to naikkan atas, right? And as you can see, this is also a single fraction. This is also single fraction. So when you have something over something equals something over something, you always darab silang, right? Yeah, when you have fraction both side, and the thing you want to find sitting at the bottom, bawah, you will always darab silang. So darab silang, now it becomes p times square root q sama dengan 6 times 7p minus 1. Okay, so it becomes 6 times 7p minus 1 like that, right? Okay, I will not take the 6 expand inside. You know why? Because I'm doing paper 1, and when I do paper 1, I always like to look at the answer when I do it, because it's paper 1, right? And I can see most of the option here, they actually didn't expand the 7p minus 1. You can see, right? So if I expand later, it becomes 42p already. Okay, that is why I choose not to expand it. Okay, I choose not to expand the 7, take the 6, expand it. Because I see the answer, they never expand it, so I don't want to expand it. So now we can focus on finding q. Jadikan q single lah. So macam mana nak jadi q single? First you have to pindah the p lah. Yeah, the p have to pindah, and then after pindah p, you pindah the square root. Yeah, then finish already. Okay, pindah p first. Okay, p and the square root q, apa hubungan dia? Darab. So darab hantar jadi bahagi. So 6 square root, 6 bracket 7p minus 1, everything over p. Like that. Now it's time to pindah the square root. And when you pindah the square root, and keep in mind, I'm looking at the answer while I'm doing it. Yeah, because this is paper 1. So when you kuasa dua, everything here have to kuasa dua tau. 6 also have to kuasa dua. 7p minus 1 also kuasa dua. P also square everything. So now it becomes what? The 6 will square become 36. The 7p minus 1 square will become 7p minus 1 kuasa dua. But I will not expand this because I told you already just now why. Because all the option never expand. And then the p also square, so I get p square. Right? And you can see the answer already. Which one is the answer? Oh, no answer. It cannot be A, right? Yeah, can't be A because this one has to be p square. So A is confirmed wrong. B is also wrong because even if you take the 36 times with atas also, the bawah, yeah, the denominator should be p square. So B is wrong. C lagi wrong lah. This one 7 minus 1 is 6. 6 square is 36. 36 times 6 is 216. This is 216 over p square. It's not the same as this, right? So I think the answer is D, right? But let's think about why. Well, there's nothing to explain. Yeah, it's exactly similar with this because the 36 is the 36 here, right? Yeah, and then the 7p minus 1 square, yeah, is the same lah because 36, and then you imagine the 7p minus 1 square, and then the p also have to square, right? Yeah, so this one and this one is the same thing. Yeah, it's just written a bit differently. Okay, so yeah, the answer is D donkey. Okay, all right, that's it. That's all. Okay, let's do number 7. Okay, looking at this diagram, you know already it's from 4 chapter. The set chapter is chapter 4. Okay, yeah, the set chapter. Okay, diagram 2 is a Venn diagram showing the number of elements in set P, set Q, set R. Okay, if you see the number inside the Venn diagram, bila dia tak ada dot, bila dia tak ada dot dekat sini, tak ada kan? Tak ada dot. That means these are all the number of elements. But if you see dot, if you see ada dot macam tu, ada titik, ada dot, then that means that's the element. So sekali lagi, kalau ada dot, element. Kalau tak ada dot, number element ataupun bilangan element. So what's the 11 here means? Number of element 11. It means there's 11 dots here, 11 elements here. And then 5 dot, 3 dot, that's what it means. Okay. Okay, let's scroll down. Let's see what this says here. Number of universal is 80. So this is the universal set. So the 80 is actually here plus here plus here plus here plus here plus here plus here, everything add together. Okay. But I cannot use this information now is because I have too many region yang saya tak tahu. So the universal I will leave it for now. I don't use it first. NP40. Okay, the P is referring to this circle P. So the 40 is not just here. You don't go and write like this. This is wrong. You can only write like this if they say P only is 40. Kalau dia cakap P only 40 ataupun P sahaja 40, then you can do like that. But this soalan they never said P only. They said P equals 40. That means here plus here plus here plus here is 40. And same thing like just now, you cannot use the 40 now because ada dua kawasan yang saya tak tahu. Okay. Yeah, you can only do it when there's one kawasan yang you tak tahu. So the 40 also I have to stand by, cannot use the information now. Let's look at the next one, NQ35. The Q, dia tak cakap only. It means it's the whole Q, including here, 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 here. And you can see ada dua kawasan yang you tak tahu. Two region that I don't know. So I cannot use this information yet. We can only use it, the information, when there's one region that I don't know, right? Ataupun satu kawasan yang tak tahu. Okay, and R is 30. Okay, R, they never said R only, right? So it's referring to the whole R. So it's here plus here plus here plus here. Okay, we cannot use this information also. Same reason because there's two region that we don't know. Okay, ada dua kawasan yang kita tak tahu. So kita tak boleh guna information ni. Okay, what about this? N for P intersect Q intersect R is 10. Okay, P intersect Q means the P and Q overlap region. And then intersect R means intersect with R again, overlap with R again. So it's referring to this middle region. So actually this middle region, we can write it, the 10, we can write it like this, 10. Okay. And after I write this 10, suddenly I can use the P40 already. Because remember P40 is referring to this four region add together. And now as you can see, I only have one kawasan yang saya tak tahu. So I can take 40 minus this, minus this, minus this, right? So if you minus, you will get 14. Okay, so now I'll cut here. Now for the next one, NQ is 35. So you can see Q is this four region add together. And now there's only one kawasan yang you tak tahu. So you can take 35 minus 5 minus 10 minus 3. And you will get 17, right? Okay, you can use a calculator to help you. Okay, now for the NR30, same thing. 30 minus 11 minus 10 minus 3, you will get 6. Okay. Okay, so this one done, this one done, this one done, this one also done. Okay, one more, the universal. Don't forget about this. Universal is the total for everyone. Okay, so what you can do, 80 minus all these numbers here. Minus 14, minus 5, minus 17, minus 11, minus 10, minus 3, minus 6, right? And you get 14. And the 14 is the number of elements outside here lah. Okay, now it's time to see what the question asks for. N for P intersect Q bracket complement. So N for P intersect Q bracket complement. Okay, N means number of elements. Okay, bilangan unsur, bilangan element. So how to find P intersect Q bracket complement? It means you have to do P intersect Q dulu, and then take complement means don't want that. So I repeat one more time. Find out the kawasan for P intersect Q, and then don't want that. Okay, because this symbol means pelengkap, means you don't want that. Yeah. Okay, let's find out P intersect Q first. So P intersect Q, if you want to shade, it's very simple. It's here. Because P intersect Q means the P and Q overlap region. So the P and Q overlapping region is this one lah. But they say bracket complement. It means everything except P intersect Q. It means you have to take everything except the shaded region. So it becomes here, 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 here. Everything except the 5 and 10, right? So the answer is 14 plus 14 plus 11 plus 6 plus 3 plus 17. Okay, yeah, everything except 5 and 10. Or you can also do it fast. Just take the 80, which is the total number of elements, minus 5 minus 10. Because 80 is everything add together. And I want to exclude the 5 and 10. Ya, saya tak boleh masukkan 5 and 10. That's why I minus like that. So 80 minus 10 is 70, minus 5 is 65. And now let's scroll down and hope there is an answer here. So yeah, I see it already. B-boy. Okay, hope you understand. Okay, number 8. This one is confirmed from 4 chapter 5, the graph theory. Dalam bahasa Melayu, rangkaian dalam teori graph. Okay, diagram 3 shows a graph that has loops and multiple edges. So it's not a simple graph. Dia bukan graph mudah. Because simple graph cannot have loops, multiple edges. So I see the loop already is here, and the multiple edges, this is the multiple edges. Okay. Okay, now it says what? Determine the number of edges and the total degree of the graph. Okay, I don't want to look at the answer. I will just count it myself. So number of edges is the NE lah. And then total degree will be the sum of total degree. This is how we write it. This symbol means sum, and then degree of vertex. And there is a formula for this. You can actually do 2 times NE. Okay, so later after I get my NE, I just sub here and then times 2, then I'll get the answer here. Okay, okay, let's count the number of edges first. All right, so let's count using, okay, I'll use a highlight to count it. So you have 1 edge, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Loop, we count it as 1 edge. Okay, yeah, loop is actually just 1 edge. So 9. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there's 9 edges. Okay, so remember that loop, we actually count it as 1 edge. Okay, okay, and then the sum of degree will be 2 times 9, which is 18 lah. Okay, so I'm sure there's an answer here. Yeah, the answer is C. But I want to tambah sikit my explanation. For the sum of degree, you can do it fast like that. Okay, do the formula. But you can also do it slowly. The slow method is you have to count one by one lah. You go to the vertex one by one and count out the degree for all the vertex and then add together, right? Let me show you how to find out the degree. Let's say I want to find the degree of this vertex. How do you count it? Okay, degree means like you count how many line is connected to that vertex. How many line connected to that vertex? So let's count 1, 2. Okay, the loop we actually count it as 2 degree. Okay, but sir, just now you said count it as 1. Okay, itu edge. Itu edge. Kalau loop nak kira edge is considered 1 edge. But degree is 2 degrees. Because if you look at the loop, actually one is, you can see there's 1 degree, 1 line, 2 line connected. Yeah, that is why it's 2 degree. One in the clockwise direction, one in the anti-clockwise direction. So let's count it one more time. 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 4 degree. It means this vertex is 4 degree. And we have to plus with it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. Right? And then 7, 8, 9 for this vertex. And then for this vertex is 10, 11, 12. And then for this vertex is 13, 14. And then this one is 15, 16. Wait, what? Okay, sorry. Let's count it one more time. I think I missed out something. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For this vertex, 7, 8, 9. For this vertex, 10, 11, 12. For this, 13, 14, 15. And then 16, 17, 18. So the sum of degree is 18 lah. Yeah, it's correct. Okay. Yeah, so if you add all the degree of this vertex, you will get 18 also. But usually, we will just do it fast using this formula. Just take the number of edges times 2. Okay. But make sure you know how to count the edges lah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the answer is C. So that's all. Okay, let's go number 9. Given the ungrouped data 5, 7, 9, 12, 15, 7, 10, what is the range of the data? Okay, the ungrouped data means the data tak ada class, right? So this is definitely the Form 4 chapter. It's called Measures of Dispersion for Ungrouped Data, and it's chapter 7, I think. 7 or 6. Okay, I'm actually not too sure. Okay, but it's the Sukatan Serakan punya chapter lah. Okay, in Form 5 you learn about group data, and Form 4 is ungroup. Okay, so they ask us to find range, right? Okay, range formula is maximum value minus minimum value. Kalau dia ungroup data lah. Tapi kalau dia group data, okay, if it's a group data, what happens? There will be class, right? And how to find range for group data? That one you have to take midpoint of the highest class minus the midpoint of the lowest class. Itu kalau group data. Make sure you know that also. But this one no need. You just take the highest minus the lowest number. So 15 minus 5, and the answer is B boy 10. That's all. Okay. Yeah, that's it. And you don't have to arrange the number in ascending order. Yeah, you don't have to do that because range memang tak payah. Unless you're finding median lah. Median, then maybe you have to arrange. Okay. Alright, that's all. Okay, number 10 is very clear already. Which chapter is the Form 4 chapter 7? It's called graph of motion. Okay, graph gerakan. Diagram 4 shows the distance time graph. Okay, so it's a DTG. That's why the y-axis is distance, the x-axis is time, and the unit is kilometer and hours. All right. For the movement of car that leave from Kota Baru to Gua Musang. Okay, whenever I do this type of question, I would like to highlight. So from Kota Baru to Gua Musang. So it means this is the start, and the start is what? Kota Baru, right? So I'll just write KB. Okay, this is KB. And where is Gua Musang? I will use another highlight. Alright, it could be here and it could also be here. We don't know, right? Because so we have to read carefully. The car started leaving Kota Baru at 6 a.m. So this is definitely 6 a.m. and stop for 1 hour after 2 hours of travel. So 6 a.m. after 2 hours is 8 a.m. and he stopped for 1 hour here. So this is definitely 9 a.m. lah. And then the car continued journey for another 25 until arrived Gua Musang at 10 a.m. So I think the Gua Musang is not here. Yeah, it's not here because it says arrive at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. this is here, right? So this should be your highlight. Okay. All right. So this line right here, that's the Gua Musang. I'll just write here GM Gua Musang. Okay. Okay. We can actually find this. Yeah, let's read again. The car started leaving Kota Baru at 6 a.m. So this one is 0600 lah, in 24-hour system. Because here also they write in 24-hour system, so I follow. So and stop for 1 hour after 2 hours travel. So yeah, after 2 hours travel, 6 to 8, 2 hours already. And then stop for 1 hour. So so you can see this line is the stop one. Yeah, because when the line go up, what happens? When the line go up means the car is moving. Yeah, the car is moving forward. And then when the line is static like that, it's like a horizontal line. It means your time is increasing, but your distance never change. Yeah, that is why here is stop. And then this one, yeah, you can see the distance is increasing over time. So it means you are moving again, right? That is why when they say stop for 1 hour after 2 hours travel, it means here you stop for 1 hour. So you can take 8 plus with 1 hour, you get 9 a.m. And then the car continued its journey for another 25 kilometers until arriving in Gua Musang. So after their stop, they continue journey for another 25 km. So I think I can take 180 plus 25. Then I'll get here 205. And this is the distance here. Okay. So the distance from Kota Baru to Gua Musang is 205 kilometers. Okay. And the total journey taken is 10 o'clock minus 6 o'clock, which is 4 hours. Okay. Okay, let's see what it says here. Calculate the average speed for the entire journey of car. Okay, let's look at the unit. Okay, everything is in kilometer per jam. So kilometer per hour. So the unit is already cantik already. So I can just straight away take the value. So let's talk about the average speed formula. Total distance divide total time. That is the formula. Okay. Okay, to get the total distance, you just look at the y-axis. And then for the total time, just look at the x-axis. But you have to be careful because the total distance, okay, from Kota Baru to Gua Musang, because you're finding for the entire journey, right? So from here to here, what's the distance travel? Here to here is 180, right? And what about here? Okay, here the distance travel is 0. Yeah, it's 0 because stops. It stops here, right? And then the distance travel here is 25. So the total distance is 180 plus 25. Or you can just straight away look at this. So it'll be 205 km. Okay. Hey, but imagine if the line go down like that. Then the distance travel will be 180 plus 25, which is 205, and then plus with 205 again. Kalau the other line turun bawah macam tu lah, then the total distance travel is like that. Okay. Okay, tapi ini tak ada, so tak payah. Okay, divide with the total time in hours. Hey, you don't tell me you masuk the 1000. No, 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 no. If you masuk 1000, it means it becomes your 1000 hours already. Hello, Kota Baru pergi Gua Busang 1000 jam tak logic pun. So actually what you have to do with this is not 1000 hours. This is the actual time in the 24-hour system. So you have to take this 10 a.m. minus with the 6 a.m. because you want to know from here to here how long has passed, right? It means your 0600 is actually the 0. And then your 0800 change to hours will be 2 because you take 8 minus 6. And then this is actually 3 and this is actually 4. And how you get all this is just take this minus with, minus with the origin, minus with the 6. So 10 minus 6 is 4. So from here to here, 4 hours has passed. So the total time is 4 hours. Now you press your calculator and you will get the answer. Okay, 205 divide 4. What is the answer? In decimal, 51.25. So let's go down and circle the answer. Okay, C is the answer. Okay, let's do number 11. Given that events A and B are two mutually exclusive events. Oh, this word I see it in the SPM Sebenar also. Yeah, the SPM 2024 Sebenar video. Okay, what is mutually exclusive? Mutually exclusive means these two events cannot happen at the same time. Okay, happen at the same time. Okay. Then what if I said non-mutually exclusive? That means both events can happen at the same time lah. If mutually exclusive, cannot happen at the same time. Okay, Tapa, let's finish reading the question first. So A and B are two mutually exclusive events, and the probability of A is 1/3. Probability of A union B is 7/9. Identify the probability of B. Actually, this is very easy. Just take the 7/9 minus with 1/3. That's all. Okay. Okay. Let me explain more detail. Mutually exclusive events. Peristiwa saling exclusive means the event cannot happen at the same time. That means when you draw the Venn diagram, the circle A and B, they will not intersect each other. They will not have any overlapping because they cannot happen at the same time. So there is no region for A and B. That's why they have no relationship. So the probability of A is 1/3, and then the probability of A union B is 7/9. So you all know probability of A union B come from where? It comes from probability of A plus with probability of B. Because A union B means like A and B gabung ambil semua, right? But since there's no intersection, so you can just, you want to find this, just take the probability of A. Okay, the probability of A is 1/3. So it will be just 1/3 plus probability of B, and then the probability of A union B is just 7/9. So how to get this? Just tekan 7/9 minus 1/3. Okay, let's tekan and see what we get. 7/9 minus 1/3. Okay, my calculator give me 4/9. So is there an answer here? Yes. And they ask for probability of B, right? So yeah, that's the answer. Okay, let's talk about what if it's a non-mutually exclusive. Non-mutually exclusive. Okay. Dalam bahasa Melayu means peristiwa tidak saling eksklusif. Okay, exclusive. Okay, if non-mutually exclusive, it means both events can happen at the same time. So when you draw the circle, they have to have some overlap. You see the difference? If mutually exclusive, the A and B have no relationship because they cannot happen at the same time. But if it's non-mutually exclusive, they can happen at the same time. That is why there is an overlapping in between. And if there's overlapping, the formula for A union B will be different. it will be PA plus PB, but have to minus with probability A intersect B. Yeah, and let me explain why. It makes sense actually, because probability of A is here and here. Do you agree? Probability of A is here plus here. And then probability of B is here plus here. And did you realize the middle region I take two times? I already take two times. That is why I have to minus with the middle part one time to get the probability of A union B. Okay, that is why the formula is probability of A, which is the red color one, plus with the B, which is the black color tick, and then and minus with probability of A intersect B, which is the middle region. And you have to minus is because the middle region you take two times already, so you have to minus one time. And then if you minus already, then you left with this one plus this one plus this one lah, which is the A union B answer. Okay, okay, but this is only if it's a non-mutually exclusive events, right? Okay, but for this question, you just do it like that lah. Yeah. Okay, hope you get it. All right, number 12. In the 100-meter race during the school's annual sports, Azmi came in first place, Sharul came in second place, Gopal came in third place. Okay, with times of 12.5. Okay, this one is Azmi. And then 14.2, this one is Sharul. And then 15.5, this one is Gopal. Okay, what is the ratio of the fastest time to the slowest time? Okay, ratio means you have to letak the ratio symbol, the dot dot one. And then you have to write down the nisbah lah. Okay, for the fastest and the slowest time. Okay, fastest time means what? Fastest time means you take the least second lah. Yeah, fastest time means you choose the least time taken. Okay, the fastest fastest means you spend less time. So who has the least time taken? 12.5. Okay, and then ratio to means the ratio lah. Slowest time, that will be, you choose the longest time lah, slowest. So slowest is longest time, 15.5, right? Okay, this is your answer, but I know that you can simplify this because 0.5, right? But usually for this part, I just teach my student, just press calculator. Just press 12.5 divide 15.5. Because this ratio symbol you can actually convert jadi bahagi tau. Yeah, you can, it's like a divide. Yeah, so you can just press using calculator. Let your calculator simplify for you. So let's press 12.5 divide 15.5. So your calculator will straight away give you 25/31. You see, they straight away simplify nicely for you. Yeah, you don't even have to think yourself, right? So yeah, that's the answer. That's all. Okay, number 13. Which of the following is a linear equation in one variable? A, yes. B, no. Two variables. C, quadratic. D, two variable. Yeah, A is the answer. Okay, let me explain a bit. Linear equation means the highest power has to be 1. Okay, if the highest power is 1, we call it linear. What if the highest power is 2? Then we call it quadratic. What if the highest power is 3? We call it cubic. And what if the x duduk bawah ataupun the unknown duduk bawah fraction? That one we call it reciprocal. Okay, yeah. Sometimes your variable is below at the denominator. That one we call it reciprocal. Okay, but this one is just linear, so choose the highest power is 1 lah, and they want in one variable. That is why the B and D confirm wrong one, because has two variable, right? So it's either A or C, but the answer is A lah, because CY cannot is because the highest power is 2. Yeah, so A is the answer. Because this one, even if you expand also, you will just get 3k minus 15 equals k over 3. And yeah, the highest power is 1. Okay, so that's why A is the answer. Okay, 14. Diagram 5 shows a rectangle. Okay, I can see. Given that the area of rectangle is 12p power 3 q power square. So later confirm you use the area formula. The area rectangle formula. And then they said express the length of rectangle in terms of pq. Okay, so you can see all your ABCD answer got PQ, PQ, PQ. So we don't actually have to find the PQ lah. We just have to find the length in terms of PQ. So the length is referring to the panjang of the segi empat. So which is this right here lah. This is the panjang lah. The panjang from here to here. Okay, how do you find the length here? So I'll just call it L for now lah. So to find the length, you have to use the area formula. Okay, the area formula, what is the luas rectangle formula? Length times width, or you can say length times panjang darab lebar. So it's actually L times with 3pq. That's how you find the area. And then equals to the 12p power 3 q square. but I'm trying to find L now, which is the length. The soalan asked for length. So I have to take this whole thing. Okay, apa hubungan dia? Darab. Okay, it's times. So when you move here, become divide. So it becomes 12p power 3 q squared. Everything divide 3pq. Okay. Okay, number can only divide with number, p can only divide with p, q can only divide with q. Okay. So number dengan number boleh buat, p dengan p boleh buat, q dengan q boleh buat. So 12 divide 3, 4. P power 3 divide p. Okay, when you have same base and you're trying to divide the power, you have to minus. And if there's no power, means power 1. So it becomes p power 2. Okay, so this is p power 2. So last one is the q power 2 divide q. Okay, q tak ada power means power 1. So what is q power 2 divide q power 1? Same concept. When you take same base divide, the power have to minus. So it becomes q power 2 minus 1, which is q power 1. But the power 1 we don't have to write. So no, this is the answer. So the answer is D donkey. Okay. Yeah, that's all. 15. Zainab wants to donate 2% of her monthly income. P. So P represents the monthly income in RM to a local charity. Form a linear inequality if her donation is more than 250 per month. So the donation has to be more than 250. So confirm we have to write bigger lah, right? Bigger. But the donation is more than 250. So here I have to use to write the donation, right? And and how much is the donation? It's 2% of her income P. So I think this one you have to take 2 over 100, 2% multiply with P because you want to get the donation, right? And the answer for the donation will be bigger, more than 250 lah. So that's the answer lah. So the answer is C. Yeah, that's all. 16. Diagram 6. Find the value of x minus y. Okay, I think you have to find x and y separately first. Yeah. After you find the x and y separately, then only you can take the two number minus, right? Okay, so let's observe the diagram. What information I have? Okay, of course I have the 25 and the 55. But how can this help us get the xy? How can these two things help me to get the xy? Let's see. Okay, I see it. I see it already. I don't know whether you see it or not. It's this arrow. Yeah, it's this arrow. So tell me, what is this arrow means? The arrow means these two lines is what? These two lines are parallel. And tell me, when you have two lines that are parallel, and if you have a line that cuts, that intersect these two lines, what do we call this line? Forget already. Transversal. Transversal. Okay. And when the transversal line intersect the two parallel line like this, you have to know this angle and this angle will be same. Okay. And we call this corresponding angle. But it has to be two lines parallel lah, then baru boleh. Okay, let's mention about the next one. When you have two lines that are parallel and you have a transversal line like that, we can also say that this angle and this angle is also same. This one we call it alternate angles. What is alternate angles? Alternate means that when there is a Z shape, did you see a Z? Z, Z, Z. But of course, this line and this line have to be parallel lah. So when it's Z, then this angle same, right? Okay, the last one is called interior. Yeah, the interior angle. Same also, two parallel side, but there's a transversal. But interior angle is talking about the inside angle here. So the inside angle here plus will give you 180. Okay? But it has to be parallel lah. Dual line parallel. And then when the transversal line cut at intersect two points like that, then the inside angle here plus is 180. Same with here and here plus lah. These two angle plus also 180. Yeah, same also. Okay. Okay, so these are everything you need to know. This one you learn in Form 1. Yeah, yeah. These are all Form 1. Okay, let's come back here. Did you see that? Okay, I'll highlight for you. So did you see the two parallel lines here and here? And where is the transversal? This line is the transversal. So tell me what is x? 55 ah. Yeah, because of this concept, corresponding angle, right? So you can see it parallel, parallel, and when you cut it like this angle and this angle is the corresponding angle, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, this one and same with this one, so this one also same with this one lah. This one y like that. Of course, this one also same with this one also same with this. Yeah. So if this is 55, you tarik this x is also 55. Okay, now I'm trying to get my y. So how to find my y? Let's see. Okay, I think I can find this angle here. And later, this angle can help me find y because this is a triangle. So I can take 180 minus 25 minus this one to get y. But how to get this? Okay, this is a straight line ma. So straight line, the total angle here is 180. So I can press calculator 180 minus 55. I got 125. And now how to find y? Okay, this is a triangle. So what is the total angle inside triangle? 180 degrees minus 25 minus 125. Okay. Okay, what you get here? 130. Okay, it's just 30, sorry, not 130. Yeah. So you get 30 here. Okay, after you reach here, now you can take your x minus y. So your x just now you get is 55, and then minus with y, which is you just get it just now 30. So what is 55 minus 30? 25. So the answer is A. Yep, that's all. 17. Miss Mila saves 48500 in Bank Muharram at an interest. Okay, this one is from 3 chapter 3. Yeah, the consumer mathematics where you learn about simple interest, compound interest. Yeah. Okay, so they already mentioned about interest. Okay, but we need to check whether it's a simple interest question or compound interest question first. Okay. Kalau tak nanti if you will use the wrong formula. Okay, so save this amount. So this definitely the P, the principal. Okay. And an interest rate of 2.5% per annum. This one confirm is the R. And the interest is compounded. I see the keyword already. Compounded every 3 months. When you see the word compound in the soalan, it means it's a compound interest question. And the formula for compound interest is MV equals P bracket 1 plus R over N power NT. Okay, this formula is given in the exam. Yeah, ada bagi dalam exam. But when you do so many questions, you just remember it automatic already. Yeah. So this is the formula. Okay, what if dia tak ada perkataan compound? Then don't use this formula lah. This formula you only use it for compound interest. So if they don't have the word compound, then you use this, the I equals PRT formula. Yeah, you use this formula. Yeah, this formula you use it for simple interest. Okay. But for compound interest, you have to do this. Okay. Okay, let's talk about what is MV. MV is the matured value. And what is matured value? Matured value is the original value, the starting value plus with the interest. That's matured value. So again, what's matured? Matured value means the original value, the starting amount plus with the interest. Okay. Okay, what is P pula? Okay, P is called the principal, but usually to make it easy to understand, I will just call it the starting amount. Yeah, the starting amount. Okay, it can be savings, it can also be pinjaman bank. Yeah, it just means it's the starting amount lah. Okay, one is just one. That one nothing to explain. R is the interest rate. Okay, the interest rate, and then N, that's the number of times compounded in 1 year. Okay, number of times compounded in 1 year. Okay, so the soalan memang already give it away already. It's compound every 3 months and then calculate the matured value at the end of the second year. So I think I need to find out what's my P and R and N and T, and then put inside this formula and then tekan to get the MV, the matured value. Okay, so let's go through one more time. What's the P? 48500 because this is the starting amount. So you save this and bank. So this is the P. Interest rate 2.5%. What do you think? What do you think is this? 2.5% rate ma. So this one confirm is the R lah. Okay, but the R is not 2.5, it's 0.025 because it's 2.5%. So 2.5 divide 100. So you take the decimal move to the left 2 times. So this is the R. And the interest compounded every 3 months. So this is trying to tell you the N. Yeah, the N. But you don't tell me the N is 3. No, no such thing. The N is number of times compounded in 1 year. So this one they say compounded every 3 months. So what you have to do? You have to take 12 divided by 3, which gives you 4. Because 1 year has 12 months. 1 year has 12 months. So if you compound every 3 months, how many times you compound in 1 year? 4 times lah. Because you compound every 3 months, but there's 12 months. So 12 divided 3 is 4. Okay, so this is the correct way to find the N. Now calculate the matured value at the end of second year. Second year is trying to give you the T. Oh, I forgot to tell you the T. T is the years. Okay. Yeah. So for this second year, so T is 2. Okay. Now with everything with everything, with all the P, N, T, and R, with all that we know already, now we can find the MV already. So P, I just put in 48500, bracket 1 plus R over N. R, I write here already, 0.025 over N. N is the 4, just put it in. And then N times T is going to be 4 times 2. And if you want to do fast, you can just tekan 8 later. Because 4 times 2 is 8, right? So now let's press. I will press the bracket first. So I'll press 1 plus 0.025 over 4 equal, and then answer power 8 equals, and then answer times 48500. Yeah, I will press like that. So my calculator give me 50978.72. So 50978.9, D is the answer. Okay. Yeah, you round out to 2 decimal place lah, because this is RM. Yeah, RM is always in 2 decimal place. All right, let's continue. Okay, number 18. Which of the following graph represents y equals negative 5 over x? Okay, so A, B, C, D. Okay, I'll straight away tell you the answer lah. Okay, yeah. I'll tell you the answer first, then only I'll give you my notes. Okay. Okay, this one the answer is either C or D, but negative. So the negative region. Okay, this one 0, this one is positive. Negative, so this is negative. Negative. Okay, C is the answer. This one is when the K is positive. K means the number on top. So this one is negative. So yeah, the answer is C. Okay. Okay. I'm assuming that the weak students won't get it if I just, just do it like that. So I will give you my notes. Okay, this is under graph or function. Okay, I'll tell you now. This is under graph or function. Okay, and I'll tell you under graph or function dia ada empat jenis graph. Ya, ada empat jenis graph that you have to be aware of. Okay, you kena make sure you tahu empat jenis graph ni lah. So I'll give you my notes now. The first type of graph, we call it the linear graph. And the equation look like this. Y equals mx plus c. And the graph will be a straight line. But it can also be like this. If your m is bigger than 0, then it's like that lah. Going up. The second line going up. But if your m lesser than 0, then the line is going down. Okay. Now, what about the next type of graph? It's called quadratic. And the equation looks like this. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. That means the linear equation, the highest power for x is 1. But for quadratic, the highest power of x will be 2. And the graph will not be a straight line. It will be like this. Okay, it's like a happy face. But it can also be a sad face, depending on your A. If your A is positive, then it's a happy face. If your A is negative, then it's a sad face, right? Now, for the third graph, we call it the cubic. And the equation look like this. Ax power 3 plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Okay. Okay, for the cubic, how the graph looks like. So let's say this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis, this is your y-axis, this is your x-axis. So it's either look like this or it will look like this, right? And it depends on your A. Okay. So for this one, the A is negative, but for this one, the A is positive. Okay, I'll teach you how to memorize this, how to remember this. So if you look at your Cartesian plane, this is your 0, right? And what's here? These are all positive numbers. And if you go up here, this is also all the positive numbers. That means positive times positive, this region is the positive region. But if you look at your graph, the cubic graph start at here and at here. So you can tell that it's a negative region, because if you look at this region right here, atas here is positive number. And then the left side, these are all what? Negative numbers. What happens when you take positive times with negative? Plus, minus. Positive, negative become minus. That means this is a negative region. Same with here. This is positive number, here is negative number. So positive times negative is negative. So this is negative region. That's why when the cubic graph looks like this, the A is negative. This is how I remember it. Okay. Then sir, what about the other one? Okay, the other one same lah. Look at your cubic graph. You can see this one, all this number is negative. So this is all negative. This is also negative. But what is negative times negative? Positive. So this is a positive region. Same with here. Positive, positive, positive also. That's why when the graph looks like this, the A is positive. Okay. Okay, the last one, we call it reciprocal. reciprocal, and the equation look like this: y equals k or x. It means your x power is negative. Yeah lah, because if your x is at the denominator, that means your x power is negative. Because when you try to naik atas the x, it becomes x power -1, right? That's why it's called reciprocal when the power is negative. Okay, for reciprocal graph, okay, let's say this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, and the y-axis. Okay, for reciprocal, if the k is negative like that, then it will be on the negative region, which is here and here. Okay, I explained it to you already. Why this two region is the negative? Because here is positive number, negative number, so positive times negative, negative. And the shape of the graph is like this. It's like a curve like this, and it will not touch the x-axis and y-axis. Okay, and then on the other side is like that. Okay, now what if your k is bigger than 0? Your k is positive. Your reciprocal curve will be like this and like this. Okay, the opposite side lah. Okay, so now you understand why the answer is C, right? Because the equation is -5 over x. So it's a reciprocal graph, and the k is negative. That's why it's this side and this side. That's why just now when you see me, how to say, you see me doing this, I put the line and then I check positive, negative, and then I check whether it's negative region or not. Okay, yeah. So the answer is C. Okay. Oh, and one more thing. This one sometimes they will ask in paper 2, and they will ask you to draw the graph. Yeah, it comes out in the Terengganu paper 2. Yeah, because the last video I did is the Terengganu Maths paper 2, and they actually asked to draw the cubic graph. Yeah, in the paper 2 lah. In paper 2 they give you the equation and ask you to draw it, and you have to draw it using freehand, because it's a curve. Okay, okay lah. But if you want to watch the Terengganu video, you can just go watch it. Yeah, it's already up on my YouTube. Okay, yeah, I think question number 3 or number 4, I forgot. Paper 2 question 3 or 4, they asked to draw this. Yeah, so make sure you know all this lah. Yeah, ini semua penting. Okay, I'll continue. Okay, number 19, the stem and leaf plot. Okay, you see stem and leaf plot, confirm is the Form 4 chapter, and it's which chapter? Chapter 8, I think. 5 is, yeah. I'm not sure whether it's chapter 8 or not. Yeah, I'm forgot already. Okay, but it's the chapter yang apa? The measures of dispersion chapter for ungrouped data, right? Okay, so let me just check quickly which chapter is it. Chapter 8, ungrouped data. Yeah. Okay. Why I know so fast is because this stem and leaf plot only comes out in this chapter. Okay. Okay, stem and leaf plot below shows the time taken in minutes for student to complete a mathematical quiz. State the interquartile range of the data. Interquartile range formula is Q3 minus Q1. Okay. Okay. How to find the Q3 and Q1 for ungrouped data? Okay, if ungrouped data, there's no class. So to get your Q1, Q3, you just find your Q2 first. Q2 will be the median lah, the middle number. And then for the Q1, you take the first half middle. And then for Q3, you take the second half middle. And then take the Q3 minus Q1. Then you get your answer lah. Okay. But what if it's a group data? If it's a group data, then this one is ungrouped. Yeah, because stem and leaf plot confirm is ungrouped one. But if it's group data, that one you have to use OGIF. Because group data the other bagi class, and that one you have to find it from OGIF. They will give you OGIF, and then yeah, you have to take 1/4 times the total frequency, and then go to your OGIF, tarik a dotted line to get your answer. Okay. Okay, let's come back here. How to get your ungrouped data from here? Okay, of course you can. Okay, let's scroll down a bit. Okay, so you can see the key here says 1 line 3 means 13 minutes. So this is the data for time taken complete mathematics quiz. So other student yang take 13 minutes, because 1 3 means 13 minutes, and then 1 5 means 15, and then 20. This one will be 21 minutes, 24. But takkan lah you nak buat macam tu, right? Takkan lah you want to list everything. Can also lah, can also, but it would take time, right? It would take a lot of time. And after you list everything, you have to cut to find the middle number, to find the Q2. And then after finding Q2, the first half have to take the middle again to find the Q1. Yeah, too much work already. Come, I show you a faster way to do it. You will just count got how many leaf. Because the bilangan leaf will be the total, will be the end. Yeah, the leaf will be the end. Okay. And why I want you to count out the leaf is because I want to use this formula, the median formula. So you can use this formula, n plus 1 divide 2. Okay, this formula is very useful because it can tell you the exact position of the middle number. Okay, the exact position, the kedudukan of the median, the Q2 lah. So your n will be the like how many number lah, how many data, right? So if you just count here, you can know already how many number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 29, 30, 31. So you have 31 data, okay? Basically 31 students lah, 31 students with different time taken. And then you just plus 1 divide 2. And they will tell you the exact position is at the 16th. It means there is 31 data, but the Q2 is at the 16th position. Okay, 16th position, right? So we can just count 16 and then we will just circle it. So 16, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And the reason why we can count like that is because it's already in ascending order. Because the stem and leaf plot, they already so nicely for you. 13, 15, 15, 21, 24, 36, 26, 27, 30, 30. Yeah, it's already arranged in ascending order already. That's why you can just count it like that. Okay, but you don't count it like that lah. You don't count it like one, two, three. That's your problem. Okay, you have to count it from, yeah, you can from the smallest to the largest number lah in ascending order. So this is your Q2. This is your Q2. But I'm looking for the Q1, Q3 because later I have to minus Q3 minus Q1, right? So how do you find the Q1, Q3? Okay, you already know your Q2 is at the 16 ma. Now how to get your Q1? Take the first half and then find the median again. Find the middle number again. But when you take the first half, please don't include the median. Please don't include the Q2. That means you will only take from here until here. Okay, without taking the Q2. Okay, yeah, don't include the median. Okay, so got how many numbers here? There should be 15 numbers here. Yeah, there should be 15 because the first half, if you don't take the 16th number, there will be 15 numbers, and you can use this formula again to find out the middle position. So the n this time is 15 plus 1 divided 2. This formula will tell you quickly where is the middle position. So 15 plus 1 is 16, which divide 2 is 8. That means your Q1 is at the 8th position. So you just count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your Q1. And it will be 7, but it's 27. So your Q1 is 27, right? Now for your Q3, okay, Q3 will be the second half middle number. So it was, but same thing lah. Don't take the 7. So it will be from here until the end here lah. But you already know there will be 15 numbers here. Confirm it will be 15. You know why? Because the first half got 15 ma. The second half should be 15 also. That's why 15 plus 15 is 30, and then plus with the Q2 is 32. I mean 31. Yeah. So the first half got 15 numbers, second half got 15 numbers. 15 plus 15, 30 plus 1, 31. Okay. Yeah, because this is the middle. So definitely the first half and the second half has the same amount of numbers, right? So now the second half got 15. And if you use this formula, you get 8 also. So from here, count 8 lah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's your Q3. So your Q3 is 6, but it's 46. So now tekan this 46 minus 27, you will get 19. Yeah, so that's the answer. Okay, number 20. Oh my god, what is this? Okay, based on diagram 7 below, state the appropriate pair of numbers in position M. So where is M? Oh, this one. So they want to write down the pair of numbers. So 4 bracket 3, 4 bracket 5, 5 bracket 3, 5 bracket 5. Huh. So how to do this? Okay, I think we have to find out the pattern here lah. Right? We have to look at this, 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 look at all this, and find out what's the pattern. Is there a sequence that I can, follow? Okay, is there a pattern to this sequence? Right? Okay, so let's think about this. All right. So we will know M will be a number and then bracket a number, right? There will be a bracket like that. Okay. So if you look at this, the number here is 1. Okay, let's look at the number outside the bracket. So 1, 2, 3, 4, missing, and then 6, and then 7. Well, it's pretty obvious if you ask me. 1, 2, 3, 4. don't know, and then 6, 7. So this must be 5 lah. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So A and B confirm wrong already. Right? Now how to get the number inside the bracket? So let's look at the number inside the bracket lah. 1, 1, 2, 3. And then this one don't know. And then 8, 13. Okay, let's write this in a line. 1, 1, and then 2, 3. And then this is the question mark. I don't know. And then 6, sorry, 8, 13. Okay. Yeah, because I'm trying to get the number inside the bracket. So of course I focus on the number inside the bracket. Okay, now what is the pattern? 1, 1, 2, 3. This one have to think a bit. 1, 1, 2, 3, 8, 13. Okay, I know already. The answer is 5. Okay, let me explain. So actually, how you get 5 is like this. 1 plus 1, you get 2, right? And then 1 plus 2, you get 3. It means this number, all this number is actually the previous two number add together. Ah, that's why this 2 is actually the previous two number add together. And this 3 is, yeah, the last two numbers add together, 1 plus 2, 3. So this number will be 2 plus 3. That's why it's 5 lah, right? And if you look at this, it makes sense because imagine if this is 5. So the 8 actually come from where? 5 plus 3, you see? The last two number add, memang dapat ni. And then 13 is the last two numbers, 5 plus 8, 13. So yeah, this is definitely 5. Okay? Yeah, so this is how you do it lah. Okay, that's all. Okay, 21. A rectangular open area at school with an area of 27 bracket x square minus 10x plus 25 square meters will be paved to become a car parking area. Okay, so we have a rectangular open area. Let's draw it out. This is a rectangle open area. And the area is this. Okay, to become a car parking area. So used to parking. If area of car parking unit is x minus 5 square meters, how many cars can be parked in that area? Okay, so this whole is the parking area. But the area of one parking car unit, so just one parking car unit, is x minus 5 square, and it's square meter, so it's like meter square like that, right? And then they say how many cars can be parked in that area. Okay, just take the total area, which is 27 bracket x square minus 10x plus 25. That is the total area for the whole rectangle, right? And this is in meter square, right? And then just divide with one car parking unit lah, x minus 5 square meter square. Because if you divide like that, you will get how many, you know how many parking unit you can fit inside the rectangle. Because they're asking how many cars can be parked. So if you want to know how many car parking unit can be fit inside, you just take the total area, divide with the area of one parking unit. Okay. Okay, the m square and m square, wait, you can cut. Yeah, the unit. So that's why you just left with an n, the bilangan. Okay, I will not expand this inside. I will not do that. Actually, can also. If you expand, can also. But if you expand already, then you have to press calculator A, B, C, and then to factorize it. And after factorize, then maybe you continue from there, right? But I'll tell you now, just by looking at the A, B, C, D, you see already the answer are all what? It's all tak ada X punya. It's 5, 10, 25, 27. It's a value. Dia tak ada X. That means there is a way for me to cut the X. And actually I see it. Yeah, actually I see it. Because the X minus 5 square, you can leave it like that. And then the x square minus 10x plus 25, you can actually factorize become x minus 5 square. Yeah, and then cut, and then the answer is D donkey. Okay, let me explain in more detail. This one is actually 27x square minus 10x plus 25. If you look closely, the x minus 5 square, if you kembang this thing lah, if you kembang the x minus 5 square, you will get x square, and then negative 5 times x times 2 is negative 10x. Okay, because when you have a minus b square, the formula is a square minus 2ab plus b square. This is how you expand. Okay, so if I have x minus 5 square, you use this formula. Your a is x, so x square is x square, and then minus 2ab, so minus 2 times a times b, it means 2 times x times negative 5. That is why it's negative 10x. And then plus b square, which is plus negative 5 square, which is 25, like that. And as you can see, this one and this one same, that's why I can cut lah. That's why the answer is 27. Makes sense, right? Okay, if you don't want to expand like that, you want to expand slowly also can. The x minus 5 square means x minus 5 bracket x minus 5, and then you nak kembang macam ni satu per satu can also. If you do like that, you will get the same. Yeah, same thing. Okay. Okay, hope you understand. That's all. All right, number 22. A school canteen sells nasi lemak at RMX per packet and mineral water at Y per bottle. On one day, 40 packs of nasi lemak and 60 bottles of mineral water were sold. If the total sales collection on that day is Z, write the formula for total sales collection in terms of XY. Alright, so you have X represents what? Nasi lemak. So I write NL arrow X. Mineral water, Y represents the RM for mineral water. So MW, mineral water, and Y. And this is in RM. Okay, the XY is the RM. So it's the price lah. Yeah, the price of one nasi lemak and the price of one mineral water is XY. One day, 40 pack of nasi lemak and 60 bottle were sold. So 40 nasi lemak sold. So the sales will be 40 times X lah. And then 60 bottles of water, that means the sale will be 60Y. This is the sales. Okay. Yeah, why have to times with XY is because X is the price of one nasi lemak. So one only, but you have 40 packs. So that's why it's 40 times X lah. Same with the 60 bottle. This Y ringgit is only per bottle. So you times with 60 because you have 60 bottle. Eh? Okay, if the total sales collection on that day is Z, so Z represents the total sale, write the formula for the total sale collection in terms of X and Y. So if Z is the total sale, then the total sale will be these two add together lah, 40X plus 60Y. So the answer is C. Yeah, that's all. This is not that difficult. Yeah, it's easy. All right, number 23. The mean of five numbers is 15. Okay, so mean equals 15 and then the n is 5. So, okay, let's talk about the mean formula. The mean formula is the sum of x divided with n. The x is the data and then n is the bilangan data, or you can say the number of data. Okay, okay, I'll just call it bilangan lah. Bilangan data. It means like how many numbers you have or how many data you have. Okay, and then this one is just the mean. Okay. Okay, of course, there's another formula for mean. The other formula for mean is sum of fx divided with sum of f, but we don't use this for this question because this is not a group data. Okay, and also there's no frequency, right? We will only use this mean formula when the other frequency. Mostly when it's group data lah, because when it's group data, the other class that one confirm have frequency one. Then we have to use that. Okay, so mean is 15. So now you understand why I write n is 5, right? Because they say 5 numbers, so n is 5, right? So it means we can find out the sum of data lah. Because the mean is 15, so I can masuk here and then I can find the sum of data already. The n is 5, right? So how to find the sum of data? Just tekan 15 times 5, right? But let's not find it first. Let's see what they want. If two numbers are added to the set of data, to the data set of those numbers, which is x and x plus 3, the new average is 18. Calculate the values of x. Oh, so the new mean is 18. The new mean is 18. Average means mean. Average and mean is the same thing. But two number add inside. So the n is no longer 5 already. It's become 5 plus another two number becomes 7 already. And also your sum of data is not the same with this sum of data here because you add x and x plus 3. Okay, but it's okay. Let's find out the sum of data from here first. And I told you how to find it already, right? I write here already. So the sum of data will be 5 times 15. So you press this, you will get 75. But what do you think would be the new sum of data? 75 plus x plus 3 lah. Because two numbers are added, which is x and x plus 3. So yeah, the new sum will be 75 plus with the two new numbers, x and x plus 3, which is 78 plus 2x. And now they're asking you to find x, and we can use this, and this, use the mean formula again lah. Okay, so the new sum of data is 78 plus 2x, that's the new sum, over with the new n, which is 7. Okay, the old one is 5, but since you add two numbers, so now it becomes 7 numbers already. And when you divide the 7, you will get 18. So now you can find the x, and you just pindah saja lah. Okay, first you get rid of the fraction first. Just times 7. 78 plus 2x. 18 times 7. Tekan calculator. So let my calculator give me 126. And then how to find x? Okay, nak jadikan x single. So the 2x I leave it here. 78 hantar sana. Okay, plus 78 jadi minus. So I tekan minus 78. 48. And then the last step is pindah the 2 lah, because I want x single. So 2 and x hubungan dia darab, it's times. So when you move there become divide. 48 divide 2, kalau tekan dapat 24. So the answer is A. Okay, sudah siap. Okay, number 24. 4 power x minus 1 over 256 equals 0. This is definitely indices punya soalan. Yeah, it's form 3, I think. Yeah, it's the low one of the lower form chapter lah, indices. Okay, how to find x? Solve means cari x, selesaikan mah means cari x. So how do you find x? First thing first, I will pindah this to the other side. So it becomes 4 power x equals to 1 over 256. Let me tell you why I pindah this over here. It's because I'm trying to find x. So you want to try your best to make your x single on one side. The rest yang tak ada x try to pindah to the other side because dia tak ada x. Okay, now what? Of course, you can do it like this. You use your calculator. You press 4 power negative 4 and see whether you get 1 over 256. If you don't get, you try with 4 power negative 2. Okay, if you don't get, also try with 4 power 2 and 4 power 4. And mesti one of these will give you this answer. And yang mana yang bagi jawapan 1 over 256, itulah jawapan dia. Macam tu. But I'm gonna show you the proper method lah. Proper method. So the proper method is you try to change so that both side has the same base. You try your best to change so that they have same base. Because when both side is same base like this, a power m equals a power n, you can compare. You can compare. So the a and a, if they're same base already, you can compare the power. Because if the base is same, automatic the power will be same also. So my goal is to make it like both sides same base, then compare the power. Okay, but sir, 4 and 256 cannot change to same base. It can. Why cannot? 4 and 256 can change to same base because 4 is 2 power 2 and 256 is 2 power 8. If you don't believe me, just press 2 power 8 and you will get 256. Okay, but wait. This is 1 over 256. Okay, just put a negative. The 1 over, just put a negative because you learned before, right? If you have a power negative m, you can actually write it as 1 over a power m. It means the a power negative m you can letak bawah, but when you letak bawah, then it becomes power positively. So it becomes 1 over a power m like that. That means if I have 1 over 2 power 8, you can also write it as what? 2 power negative 8. Okay? Yeah, so that's why the 256, I get 1 over 256 is 2 power negative, right? Oh, and something missing here. The 4 is power to x. So 2 power 2 is 4, but there is a x here, so you have to make sure you write beside like that. Okay? And when the power is side by side like this, you have to times. Okay? So 2 power 2x equals to 2 power negative 8, and you can see this is already like this, which is they are same base on both sides. And when they are same base on both sides, I told you you can take the power and equal also 2x equals negative 8 because you compare. Yeah. So when the base is same, automatic the power will be the same also. So you compare the power. So your x will be negative 8 divided by 2. So A is the answer. Okay. All right. That's all. 25. Table 1 shows a group of 60 who pass and fail in the driving test. So lelaki pass 15, fail 12, perempuan pass 17, fail 16. Okay, let's try to add all these numbers. Okay, let's see whether they got tipu me or not. Is it really 60 the total? 15 plus 12 plus 17 plus 16. Okay, I press my calculator. I really get 60. Okay, maksudnya dia tak tipu kita lah. Ini memang jumlah dia 60. Okay, if a student is picked at random from the female group, calculate the probability that the student will fail. Okay, so I'm trying to find the probability of fail. So obviously atas, okay, the formula for probability is PA equals NA over NS. So if you're trying to find probability of fail, it means atas here you have to write the bilangan fail, the number of fail. And then bawah here you have to write down the total. Okay, okay, but the total is not 60. Yeah, it's not 60 because they already said it's picked from the female group only. So let me circle for you. Female group is this one. That means the total is not 60. It's 17 plus 16, which is 33. So the NS total is 33. But what about the NA? The NA will be the number of fail lah. And the number of fail for female is only 16. So this is the answer. Okay, 16 over 33, I don't think you can simplify it. So yeah, that's the answer. D. Okay, continue. Number 26. In the inequality 4x plus 2y bigger than 10, what point is not in the solution region? Okay, this one is from 4 chapter 6. Okay, it's called linear inequalities. And what they are asking is they are asking whether which of this line is not inside the shaded region. Yeah, it's not inside the shaded region. Because if there's an inequality sign, that means it's talking about the region, the kawasan. Okay? Okay, let me tell you how this line will look like. Okay, if the 4x I'm pinna here, my gradient will be negative. So the line has to definitely go down like that, right? And since the symbol is bigger, and also the y is already positive, so boleh terus tengok. So the shaded region is up here like that. Okay, so this is just a rough sketching line. And oh, one more thing, you cannot use solid line. You cannot use solid line. It's a dash line because oh because they never put equal here, right? There's no equal here, so that's why it's a dash line, or you can say dotted line, right? So now what we have to do, we have to check whether A, B, C, D, which point is not in the solution region. It means which point is not on this region. Okay, yeah, we have to check which one is not in the region. But sir, how to check? Okay, one way to do it is you draw the graph. You do it in the graph paper. Okay, tapi I won't do like that lah. This is paper one, right? I don't think you do it like that. Can also lah, but it will be very slow and takes time. So let me show you a better way to do it. So you can actually do it. How? You can do it by taking this point and sub inside the equation straight away. Okay. So what will happen is I will draw a table. I'll draw a table like this, and then what I will do here, I will start to sub the value inside lah. So I will draw a line like this, and then I will cut it into two bahagian. This part I will write the left hand side, which is 4x plus 2y, and then this side I'll write 10. Okay, ignore the bigger symbol first. Don't the one don't look at it first. Just take out the left hand side and the right hand side. And then you can see the right side, you cannot do anything. It's just a 10. So just leave it like that. And then for the 4x plus 2y, that one you can use it to sub the xy. Okay, so the x is 3, the y is 2. Okay, 4 times 3, 12. 12 plus 2 times 2 is 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. 10. All right, now I already get a value on the left side and one value on the right side. So now what to do? You check whether you compare the two number lah. You compare the two number and see whether it's bigger or smaller, right? Okay, let me tell you, if this number and this number is the same number, that means this point is on the line. I repeat one more time. Kalau you ambil any point, you sub inside, you get the left hand side and right hand side, same answer, same value. That means this point is on the line. If you get same on both sides. But what if you get the left hand side bigger than the right hand side? Then it means the point is above the line. Yeah, because the left hand side is 4x plus 2y. Okay, let's write 16 bigger than 10 first. And also, the left hand side is 4x plus 2y, right? And then the right side is 10. And when you sub this point inside, you end up getting the left hand side bigger or greater than right hand side. That's why it becomes like this. That means this point will be above the line. Yeah, if you plot this point on here, it will be exactly on the shaded region, the 3, 2. Okay, so A is inside the shaded region. Okay, what about B? Well, repeat the same process. So I'll take out my eraser, just erase this part and this part and this part. So let's go. This time it will be 4x plus 2y, but this time my x is 1, my y is 2. Okay, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay, you can see 8 is smaller than 10. Okay, less than 10. That means this point, when you sub inside, you end up getting the left hand side 8 and the right hand side 10. That means the left hand side is smaller. So your 4x plus 2y is smaller than 10. That means the 1, 2, this point 1, 2 will be below the line because smaller ma. Yeah, smaller means kawasan dia bawah lah. So this one is not bigger than 10 because the soalan asked for bigger, right? So B is not. So B is the answer lah because they asked which one is not, right? Yeah, B is the answer. Okay. Okay. I will explain the CD also just to make you understand more. So I will erase. Okay, let's go for the C. 4x plus 2y. This time my x is 2, 3. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 bigger than 10. That means this one, the 4, it means is above the line lah. 2, 3. Yeah, because the left hand side is bigger than the right hand side. That means the 4x plus 2y is bigger than 10. It means this point is on the above the line lah. Okay, last one, the 4 one. Erase this, erase this, erase this. Okay, so 4 times x plus 2y, your x is 4, your y is 1. 4 times 4, 16 plus 2 is 18. So you end up getting 18 bigger than 10. That means your left hand side bigger than right hand side. That means 4x plus 2y bigger than 10 also. So D is also in the solution. So which one is not in the solution? B boy. Because out of the four, this is the only one where you get the left hand side smaller than the right hand side. The rest all you get left hand side bigger, left hand side bigger. Only B you get left hand side smaller. That is why B is not in the solution region. All right, that's all. Okay, 27. A factory packed 257.5 kg of cookies into 1050 smaller packets in preparation for the Independence Day program to be held in August 2025. Calculate the average mass in gram of cookies in each packet. Okay, first of all, the unit is not same already. They give in kg, but this one they want to find in gram. So I think I will change it to gram now. 1 kg equal to how many gram? 1000 gram. So times 1000 means you take the decimal, move to the right 3 times. So it will be 257,500 gram. But they pack this into 1050 smaller packet, and they want you to find the average mass of cookies in one packet. Each packet means one packet. So this one is 1050 packet. So you divide with 1050 to find out 1 gram berapa packet here lah. So I'll use calculator to press 257,500 divide 1050. Okay, my calculator give me 245.238 blah 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 macam tu, right? Okay, I feel like I will write two decimal place 245.24. Yeah, like that. Okay. Okay, if I look at my ABCD, there's no answer. There's no answer. Okay, actually other answer lah. It's just that they write in standard form. Yeah, because they write times 10 power times 10 power 10 power 10 power. When you see 10 power like that, it means they write it in the standard form. Dalam bahasa Melayu is the bentuk piawai. Okay. And as you can see, all this is 2.45. Yeah, because when you write in standard form, you must make sure before the decimal point can only have one digit that is not zero. Yeah, you have to make sure before the decimal point kena ada satu digit and the digit cannot be zero. That is why you have to move the decimal point until it reach here and it will become 2.45, right? Okay, the 24 no need to write lah because all the ABCD option, all the answers they write in three significant figures. So I will just follow right three significant figures also. Okay. Okay, you need to know something. When you move the decimal to the left, the power have to plus. When you move it to the right, the power have to minus. So when you're moving to the left 2 times, that means your 10 power have to plus 2. And it will be positive, not negative. Because you're moving to the left. In other words, 2.45 times 10 power 2 will give you 245.24. That's what it means. Okay. Yeah, like, because times 10 power 2 means times 100 lah. Move to the back. That's why you get 245 point something, right? Okay, so the answer is very clear. It's D. That's all. Okay, 28. This one is under which topic? Okay, it's a lower form topic and it's called scale drawing. Okay, scale drawing. Okay, let's read the question. Diagram 8 shows A prime, B prime, C prime, D prime, which is the small one, is a scale drawing of a rectangular field. Okay, I will straight away go here and write I. I stands for image. Okay, why I write I? Because they say this is the image. Okay, so the keyword for image is drawing, and then the keyword for object is the real size, or you can say the actual size. Okay, so if they say this one is the drawing, means this is the image, and so this one is automatic, is the object lah. And they say drawn at a scale of 1:5. Okay, when we write ratio for scale drawing, we will always write I ratio O. So the 1 is actually the ratio for image, and then 5 is the ratio for object. It means this is exactly 5 times bigger than this. Okay, only the length, only the length is 5 times longer. Okay. Okay, now they say the area of the field is 7,200 meters square. Okay, I think they're talking about area of field. So what do you think? This is area of object or area of image? Field. Is it the drawing or the real one? Field ma. So of course it's talking about the object lah, the real one. So the real one is this one. So the area for this is 7,200 meters square. Okay. And then they say calculate perimeter of the field. Okay, if you want to find the perimeter of this field, It means you are finding perimeter of object, and you need to know the length here, and the here length here, and the length here, and the length here. But sadly, I don't have any length here. Yeah, I don't have any length here. But we can find it by using this 16 meter. Do you remember this 16 meter is the side here, right? And also they already said this is the image, and they'll give you the scale already. It's 1:5, right? So that means 1:5, you can write it as 1/5, right? But on this side, you have to write image over object. And it has to be the length, not the area. You cannot muscle area. So the length of image is 16, but the 16, make sure you write it on top. And then the object will be this line right here, the AC, right? And you can find it, just cross multiply. AC times 1 is AC, 5 times 16 is 90 meter. In other words, wait, is it 90? 5 times 16 is, okay, 80. So sorry. Careless mistake. This one is 80. And the AC is 80 meter here, right? That means here also is 80 meter lah. But I want the perimeter, so I need this panjang also. But how to find this panjang? Well, use the area. Use the area. Because the area is 7,200 meters square. And the area of rectangle is length times width. Panjang darab lebar. Lebar sudah tahu 80 mah. So that means CD punya panjang multiply with 80 will give you 7,200. And everything is in meter. Okay, everything is in meter. So your CD will be this one, bahagi this one, you give 90. And that means the panjang here is 90 meter. Now how to find perimeter? 90 plus 80 plus 90 plus 80. Okay, tekan calculator. What is 90 plus 80 plus 90 plus 80? 340. Let me double check. 90 times 2 plus 80 times 2. Yeah, 340. That's all. Sudah siap. Okay, 29. Okay, 29. Dia kata apa? They said here they want diagram 9 shows the right angle triangle PQR. So PQR is a right angle. Right angle means segitiga sudut tegak. That means there's a 90 degree. So the 90 degree is very obvious lah. It's here. Okay. Okay, so I can skip this one. Okay, now let's read. Given RS is 1/3 QR. Mana? RS is here, QR is here, and they say RS is 1/3 times with QR. But since I don't have any of these two sides, so I cannot use this information now. Then confirm the second information I can use already. Sin M is 5/13. Okay, this one you can use to label, but you will label the because sign means so soka to, right? So sign is so the 5 is the opposite, the 13 is the hypotenuse. But you first have to determine which right angle triangle first, because there's two right angles here. The first right angle is this one, and then the second one is the big one. So you have to determine which one is the angle, and also you have to look at the angle, because sometimes the angle is not a quadrant 1 angle, and if it's not a quadrant 1 angle, you better find the reference angle. Reference angle means you find out the corresponding angle in quadrant 1. Okay, so let's not look at the 5 and 13. Let's go and cari the sudut M first. Where is sudut M? It's here, and as you can see, this sudut M is not inside a right angle triangle. It's not inside a right angle triangle. You don't tell me something like, oh sir, the M posit, this one is 5. No, 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 cannot, because your M is not inside, the angle M is not inside a right angle triangle. And also it makes sense why it's not inside. It's because your M is which quadrant? It's quadrant 2. Okay, even though the question never tell you it's quadrant 2, but you know it's quadrant 2. And how you know it? Okay, you don't need the question to tell you whether it's quadrant 1 or quadrant 2. You use your eyes, you know already. So like this is 90 degree, right? So now you can see the angle is more than 90 already. So that's why it's quadrant 2, right? So when the angle is not quadrant 1, you have to find the reference angle, right? So for quadrant 2 angle, how do you find the reference angle? 180 minus. So when you take 180 minus, you will get here. And let's call this alpha for now. Okay, let's call this alpha for now. And what is alpha? Alpha is the corresponding reference angle of M. In other words, even though the alpha and the M, they are different size, the angle, both this angle is different. They are not the same angle, but the sine cos tangent answer will give you the same answer. I repeat one more time. Alpha and M, walaupun sudut, dua-dua sudut ni dia tak sama, Tapi the sin, cos, tan answer will come out the same. Only the positive, negative, that one you have to double check lah. That one you have to check, add sugar to coffee to check whether it's positive or negative. Okay, but the answer will come out same. So if I say sine m is 5/13, so we can use the reference angle to help us label. So the right angle triangle we will use is this one. Okay, okay. So opposite is 5. Okay, so depan sudut. So we use the alpha because my alpha is inside the right angle triangle. Okay, yeah, we use the alpha to label because alpha is the reference angle for m. It means sine alpha and sine m is the same. It's the same. Give you the same answer. That's why we can use alpha to help us label. So depan sudut we call it opposite. Depan 90 we call it hypotenuse, and then this one we call it adjacent. Now what's the opposite? 5. So pergi sini O tulis 5 and kena bulatkan because it's ratio. Yeah, the 5 is not the cm. Dia bukan panjang sebenar, dia just ratio saja. So have to circle. 13 is the ratio for hypotenuse. So let's go H and write 13. And same thing you have to circle, have to bulat. Okay, do you realize they give you the panjang here 15 cm. And the ratio is 5, right? So tell me, 5 how to become 15? 5 macam mana nak jadi 15? Times 3, right? That means if you want to convert ratio to cm, you have to times 3. So what you can do here, the ratio is 13. How to convert to cm? Times 3 also lah. So 13 times 3 is 39 cm. And when you do soalan yang ada right angle triangle, and also when you have two sides, immediately you can find the remaining side already by using Pythagoras theorem. Okay, and I think you need to find it also because the soalan asked to find QS. And if you want to find QS, you need to find QR first. After you find QR, then baru plus with RS. Okay, yeah, so you need this, and yeah, you find it by using Pythagoras theorem lah. So because you already have the other two sides, so to find the remaining side, you use Pythagoras theorem. So square root bracket square bracket square. Okay, sini masuk 39 cm. Another one is 15 cm. Okay, plus or minus. Okay, you will only plus if you are finding the hypotenuse, the longest side. Okay, so I don't think this is the hypotenuse. This is not the longest side, so minus. So tekan this, and you will get the the panjang. Okay, I've pressed 39 square minus 15 square, square root the whole thing. Okay, my calculator give me 36. And this is automatic in cm already. Okay, the 36 cm have to plus with the RS, right? Because they ask for QS. But how? You forget already. Just now they got give you one information, This one, you remember? And I remember just now I said, I cannot use this information first because I don't have the RS and the QR panjang. But now it's different. I already have my QR, so I can put it inside. RS equals to 1/3 times with QR, which is 36. Press this, you will get 12. That means this is 12. Now what is your QS? 36 plus 12. So the answer is 48. Yep, I see the answer. That's all. Okay, let's do 30. Given tangent x is negative 0.5317 and x is in between 0 and 360, find values of x. Okay, this type of question, you have to determine whether it's normal case or special case first, right? And I'll tell you now, this is a normal case. Okay, it's a normal case. What is special case? Special case is when your sine cos answer is 0, 1 or -1. Ataupun your tangent is 0. Then only it's special case. And for special case, you have to memorize the answer. Yeah, because the answer would be 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, and all the answers does not belong to any quadrant. That's why you have to memorize the special case. But this one is not special case. So we can do it with calculator. Yeah, normal case we do it using calculator. So let's write down the soalan first. So the way to do it is first we have to check quadrant first. So add sugar to coffee. Your tangent answer is negative. So which quadrant? Quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. Okay, because tangent positive is quadrant 1 and 3. So tangent negative will be 2 and 4. So the x answer will be quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. So automatic A is wrong already lah, because you are in quadrant 1, 28. And then quadrant 4 must be more than 270. So wrong. More than 270. Okay, this 2, okay. But it's 2 and 4. Quadrant 2 is more than 90, less than 180. So C lah, it's not so. Yeah, I didn't even press my calculator. Okay, but of course I'll show you the whole thing also. So I'll show you how to write the whole thing. You have to press calculator and press shift tangent 0.5317. Please don't tekan the negative. Don't tekan the negative. Because you're trying to get the reference angle now. So don't tekan the negative. So you get 27.999. So it's like 28 lah. Okay. But this is not the X answer. This is the RA. RA stands for reference angle. Okay. And let me repeat one more time why cannot tekan the negative. Is because the negative only indicates quadrant. We don't actually press the negative because the negative is just trying to tell us which quadrant is the answer. We don't press the negative. So we tekan shift tangent, the value that will give us the reference angle. Reference angle means the angle in quadrant 1. But now you convert from quadrant 1 to the quadrant 2 and 4 lah. Okay, how to convert quadrant 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4? Okay, 1 to 2, 180 minus, 1 to 3, 180 plus, 1 to 4, 360 minus. Okay, yeah, everything, this one all you need to know. So to quadrant 2, 180 minus, so 100, press lah, 180 minus 28, and you get 152. And then quadrant 4, 1 to 4 is 360 minus, and you press, you get 332. Okay, so the answer is C. Okay, okay, that's all. 31. Diagram 10 shows RST is tangent to the circle with center O at S. Okay, let's go. RST is this line, and then they say it's the tangent. Okay, if this line is a tangent line, it means this line will touch the circle at one point only, and it's very obvious they touch at point S. So this is the tangent point. Okay, yeah, the contact point, we call it the tangent point. Okay, and center circle tarik to tangent point is always 90 degree. So automatic this is 90. Of course the other side also 90. Tapi ada satu line kacau, so I don't want to write there. Okay, and then they say PQR is a straight line. Where is it? PQR is straight line. So it's trying to tell you that the angle here, the whole angle here is 180. So if I can find this angle myself, then it's good already. Because if I can find this angle, I can take 180 minus this to get the X. And the soalan is also asking for the values of X. So I think my job now is to try my best to find this angle and then take 180 minus. But I cannot find this angle now. I have to find this angle first. Yeah, it's the only way. So this is what I want you to, this shape. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, this also you learn it in lower form. When you see a shape like this, from the center, tarik 2 line radius, and then tarik 2 chord, these two angle, they will have a relationship. The middle angle, the angle at the center will be 2x, the angle here will be x. Okay, so that means if this is 55, this one will be 55 times 2, which gives us 110. Okay, and after you get your 110, now you can find out this angle because this shape is a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral means it has 4 sides. And if it has 4 sides, what is the jumlah sudut dalam? What is the sum of interior angle? 360 lah, because 4 side mah. So you can take 360 minus, minus, minus. What is 360 minus 110? Minus 90. And then minus 25. So my calculator give me 135. And then finally to get X, you just 180 minus 135 lah. So you should get 45. So the answer is C. Yep, that's all. Okay, 32 is obviously a matrix question because they got bracket. And then it says bracket negative 2x times with bracket 4y equals, oh my god, why missing here? Okay, I don't know what number is this. Okay, but it's okay. Let's try to do it anyway. Okay, and then they say find the value of x and y. Okay, obviously we have to take these two matrix and then times together because there's nothing in between them. There's nothing in between means you kena darab lah. Okay, how to take this one darab this one? You need to understand. Okay, okay, so let me write like this. So the left hand side, I'll write it here. And then this one, I write it on the right hand side. Okay, I don't know this one berapa, so I'll just leave it like that. 2xy. Okay, when you take matrix, multiply with matrix, matrix darab matrix, you have to check something first. You have to write down the order. You have to write down the order and you have to check and make sure the column of the first matrix is same with the row, the number of row of the second matrix. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let's write down the order first. Order means the peringkat. So the matrix, this matrix, what's the order? 2 row, 1 column. So this is 2 times 1. That's the order. And then the second matrix is 1 row 2 column, 1 times 2. And you have to make sure these two number is same. If it's not same, then you cannot multiply. If it's not tak sama, kalau nombor ni tak sama, you tak boleh darab dua-dua matrix ni. Okay, but this one is same lah, so you can cut. You left with 2 times 2. It means after you take this matrix, darab this matrix, you will end up with a 2 row 2 column matrix like this, which is exactly same with the right side, because the right hand side also 2 times 2. Yeah lah, because you have to compare later mah. So of course it will be like 2 times 2 also. Kalau tak, macam mana nak compare, betul? Okay, so now it's time to darab lah. Okay, when you darab, there is a special way to darab. You have to take horizontal times vertical. And if your horizontal row only have one number, that means you only take one number only lah. And then times with vertical. So you can see this one vertical go down only have one number. So it will be negative 2 times 4. I should write it here. And then repeat the same step but with the second column. Yeah. And then so it will be like negative 2 times y. But you are still taking the first row. But you go to the second column already. So you will write it in this position, negative 2y. Because first row times second column. So you write at first row, second column lah. Okay, now what about this one? Okay, this one you have to go to the second row already. Second row, but second row, but first column. Yeah, so x times 4 is 4x. And where you write it? At the second row, first column lah, 4x. And then the last one is second row, second column, xy. The one write xy here. Now you can compare. You can compare both sides. Okay, I'm trying to find x and y. So when you compare, you will, okay, you know this is negative 2 times 4 is negative 8, right? But this one, they never write it here, so that doesn't, so I will not compare this number, because if I compare this, it doesn't help me to get the xy. But I can compare this number with this number. But of course, make sure you compare the corresponding element lah. So this one is negative 2y equals to 2. So you can find your y. First you pindah the negative, so it become negative 2, and then pindah the 2 become divide, negative 2 divide 2, negative 1. So B and C confirm wrong already. So it's either A or D. Okay, now compare the 4x equals to 2 lah. So 4x equals to 2. So your x is 2 divided by 4. Cut 1 over 2. So the answer is D. That's all. Okay, the xy equals xy, the one don't compare lah. Because xy equals xy, how you supposed to find x and y from there? Right? Yeah, so this is good enough already. Just compare this with this and this with this, and you get your xy already. So yeah, that's all. 33. This is another matrix question, but this one is the addition one lah. It's not darab. Okay. Okay, so this says 2a plus 21 equals 29, then find a. Okay, in order to find a, first you have to pindah this matrix to the other side. And then this plus become minus. And after you take this matrix minus with the 21, then you have to divide by 2. Yeah, that's the way to do it. So 29 and then minus with what? Plus hantar sini jadi minus with 21. Okay. Okay. If you're trying to find a, means you want the a to be single. That is why you pindah this here. Okay. Okay, the 2 leave it first. Now we have to take this matrix minus this matrix. Okay, how do you plus or minus matrix? First, you have to make sure the order has to be exactly the same. If the order is not the same, you cannot perform addition or subtraction. Yeah, you cannot do plus minus if the order of the matrix is not same. But the order is same. 2 times 1, 2 times 1, 2 row, 2 column. So the answer will come out 2 times 1 also lah. And how you tolak atas, bawah tolak bawah. Okay, so 2 minus 2, 0. 9 minus 1, 8. That's the way to do it. Now, I want to find A. So, if you want the A to be single, the 2 have to pindah there. So, the 2 and A, what's the hubungan? Times 2 ma. So, become divide 2. Or you can say 1 over 2 multiply with 0, 8. Same thing lah. Okay, times 1 over 2 means divide 2. So, the answer will be 0 divide 2, which is 0. 8 divide 2 is 4. Because if I have a number like that times with a matrix, it means every number inside the bracket all have to times 1 over 2. So the 0 have to divide 2, 8 also have to divide 2. So the answer is B, boy. Okay, so that's it. 34 is a variation question. So let's do it. Okay, they already write the ikan symbol here. P varies. Oh my god, why is it missing here? Okay, this one I think is G. Yeah. Okay, so the ikan symbol already write P varies inversely as G square and H. And then P equals to 2, G equals 4, H equals 3. Okay, why they give us the P value and G value and H value? Is for you to find K later. Yeah, they give you full information. PGH is for you to find K later. And then they say calculate the value of H when P equals 3, G equals 8. Okay, this one you have to leave it first. Yeah, your job now is to find K first. After you find K, you rewrite your whole equation, then only you sub with this. Okay, so now let's tukar the ikan symbol to equal. But when you tukar equal, you have to letak K sini, right? But the K will darab dengan atas. So I will do fast. I will straight away write K on top and then G square H at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, because the K times with the fraction, so you straight away write atas. Okay. Okay, now you have to find K. That is why they give you the PGH. So you just sub inside 2 equals K over bracket square bracket. G is 4, H is 3. When you substitute, look carefully. You don't go and sub 3 inside 3 here, 4 here, then wrong already. Okay, make sure you take up betul. So let's do this first. 4 square times 3, 48, and then 2 times 48, 96. Okay, use your calculator to help you. Okay, after you get your K, you must rewrite your K inside the equation. So now it becomes P equals 96 over G square H. Okay, now only you find the value of H. Now you start with this, right? If you don't do this first, you cannot find the value of H. Yeah, you must find the value of K first. Yeah, without this, you cannot find you cannot get to the final answer. Okay, you must always do these steps when you're doing variation. Always find the K, even if the question never asks. Okay, so the P nak ganti 3, 96 over G square. G is 8 mah, so bracket 8 square lah. And then the H nak cari, so like that. Okay, now I can find H. So how do you find it? Okay, if you're trying to find H and your H duduk bawah, your initial instinct, your initial thought must be to make it supaya dia naik atas. And it's very easy, just pindah atas jadi times. Okay, 8 square, if you tekan calculator, is 64. So here becomes 64H, but times 3. What is 3 times 64? It becomes 192H. So 192H equals 96. And now you can get your H easily. Just do 96 divide 192. So my calculator give me 1 over 2. And that's your answer lah. A. Alright, that's all. Okay, let's do 35. This is a form 3 question and it's under locus. Okay, diagram 11 shows a circle DEFG. Okay, I can see it. Nice circle. With center K and radius 4 cm. So this is center and the radius is 4. So if you tarik from the center to the side of the circle, it will be 4. Tarik to the side, it will be 4 also. If I tarik one like that, it will be 4 also. Okay. Yeah, because that one is also radius. Okay, HD and HF are the tangent to the circle. Mana? HD and HF are tangent. So it means these two lines touch the circle at one point only. And then locus X move 4 cm from K. And locus Y move same distance from HD and HF. Which of the following point shows the intersection of the two loci or the two locus? Okay, class, what you have to do now is you have to draw the locus X and locus Y. Because if you don't draw, you don't know where's the intersection, right? So for the locus X, I will use red color highlight. So locus X. So the locus X, the condition for the X moving is it has to be always 4 cm from K. So imagine you are from K, but the distance is always 4 cm from K. It means the locus X will be a circle surrounding K with the radius always 4 lah. So this red color one, that's your first locus X. Okay. Now I'll use another color, maybe yellow color, to draw the locus Y. Okay, the locus Y condition is it has to move at the same distance from HD and HF. HD and HF are two lines, right? Yeah, they are two lines. And the two lines, they are not parallel. If they are parallel, it will be like this. And then the locus will be like exactly the middle, right? But these two lines is like this, right? So this one you call it bisector. So for these two lines, if you want the locus Y to move at the same distance from HF, you have to cut this in the middle. So if the two line like this, you have to cut it in middle like this, right? But of course, if you are doing paper 2, you have to use compass. You have to chuchok here, locus here, and then chuchok here, locus here, and then chuchok here, locus here, and then join, right? Then only you will get exactly in the middle half. But for this is paper one, and you can use your eyes. You can see already these two lines. The middle line is definitely this one, right? So now you are done with the two locus. Now tell me what is the intersection. Where is the intersection? So the yellow color line and the red color line, dekat mana dia kiss? Dekat mana dia kiss ataupun dekat mana dia intersect? So it's E and G. E and G is where the two locus meet. Dia punya intersection. So the answer is EG. So A is the answer. Okay, let's go 36. In diagram 12, K is the image of J. Immediately go K, put an I there. Go J, write the O there. Yeah, because when you're doing transformation question, you must always be very aware siapa image, siapa object. So bila dia bagi tahu dekat soalan, kena terus tulis. So now you know it's from J to K, not K to J, because you always go from object to image. Yeah, and K is the image, right? So it means you start from J and then you end with K. Under a translation, MN and JK is 13 unit. So if I join a line like this, I'll get 13 unit. But they're asking for, okay, they're asking for what? Translasi MN, yalah. Okay, let's look at the answer because it's paper one, right? Okay, if you look at the answer, you can straight away see it already. So you are moving from J to K. So obviously you have to move this way and then move up, right? So this number must be positive because it's moving to the right. And then this number should be positive also because it's moving up. So there shouldn't be any negative number. So it's either C or D. Okay. And let me tell you the answer is D. Because if you look carefully, this is negative 5. So if you're moving from here to here, berapa panjang sini to sini? 5 unit. And why is it positive 5? Is because you are moving to the right. Yeah, you're moving to the right. So it's so your translation M will be 5. And then you're moving from here to here. And actually this is negative 3, right? So you're moving from negative 3 until up here lah. Okay, even though I don't know the Y coordinate here, but doesn't matter. Who cares, right? Who cares? Okay, because you see your answer already. Yeah, you see your answer already is D. Okay, it can't be this. It cannot be this because how can it be negative? You are going ke kanan ke atas. It should be positive, positive, right? The number atas should be positive. The number bawah should be positive also. So the only answer that makes sense is D lah. C cannot. Yeah, C cannot because if you move, if it's 12.5, it means you have to move to the right 12 unit, and you went past. Yeah, you went past already. Yeah, you would. Yeah. So the correct answer is D lah. And the AB, I told you why cannot already, because that's negative. Okay, hope you understand. Oh, it means the 13 is like useless lah. Yeah, the 13 is not really useful because if you do Pythagoras theorem, all this will give you 13. Yeah. 5 square plus 12 square, 5, 12, 5, 12, all will give you 13. So the 13 is quite useless. All right, let's continue. 37. Table 2 is a cumulative frequency table. Okay, the moment I see all this, I know already it's the Form 5 chapter and it's the measures of dispersion for group data. Dalam bahasa Melayu, sukatan serakan for data terkumpul. Okay, which chapter is this? Chapter 7, I think. Yeah, measures of dispersion for group data. Okay, they give you cumulative frequency table which shows the mass of 20 parcels. So this is the cumulative frequency. Calculate the mean mass in kg of parcels. Okay, I remember I just mentioned to you the mean formula just now. Let me scroll up and remind you about it. Where is the mean formula I write just now? This one. Oh, I erased it just now. Okay, when I do 23 just now, I actually write the other mean formula. I read it here, but I guess I erased it. Yeah. But if you guys want to tengok balik, you can rewind back to this video. Yeah, I actually mentioned the formula just now. So the other formula for mean is this: sum of frequency times x divided with sum of frequency. But for 23, I didn't use this formula because this is ungrouped data and dia tak ada frequency. And kalau tak ada frequency, we just use this one. But when the soalan ada frequency, we must use this, right? And if it's a group data, mesti ada frequency punya. Yeah, so definitely we'll use this, right? So let's go back to the question. So now we will be using this formula. Mean equals the sum of fx divided with the sum of f, right? But what is x and what is f? X is the data lah, and then f is the frequency, not cumulative frequency. It has to be the frequency. Okay, and if it's a group data, you have to use midpoint to represent the X. Okay, because if it's a class, if there is a class, yeah, if it's a group data, other class, then your data becomes like a class already. So you have to find out the midpoint lah, and use the midpoint for the X. So now what I will do is I have to find out the midpoint for all the class. And how do you find the midpoint? Okay, you will take the lower limit of the class plus with the upper limit of the class and then divide 2. 8 plus 10 divide 2, 9. 11 plus 13 and then divide 2, 12. This one same thing, 15, 18, 21. Yeah, just take 20 plus 22 divide 2. So later these are all your x, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. But the x have to times with the f. But this one is not the frequency. These are all the cumulative frequency. So I have to find my frequency here. Okay, you can find your frequency from the cumulative frequency, because cumulative frequency is basically the frequency plus with all the previous frequency. I repeat, cumulative frequency is actually what? The frequency of that class plus with all the frequency before. Okay, so the first frequency and the first cumulative frequency will always be the same, because there's no class before it, so it's always the same. But the next one, you have to take 11 minus 7 to get 4. Because this 11 actually come from where? It comes from this frequency plus with the previous one. That's why you have to take 11 minus 7 to get 4. Okay. Now tell me, what is the 12? It's this one plus this one plus this one. Because I told you, cumulative frequency means the frequency of that class plus with all the previous class frequency. So 12 come from this one plus this one plus this one. So how do you think I want to get this number? I just tekan 12 minus 4 minus 7 lah. Or you can also say 12 minus 11. Yeah, just minus with the number beside. So 12 minus 11 is 1. So this is the frequency. And then do the same for here. 15 minus 12, you get 3. Or you can say 15 minus 1 minus 4 minus 7. Ah, yeah, it's the same lah. 15 minus 1 minus 4 minus 7 means 50 minus 12 lah. And then this one do the same. 20 minus 15, you get 5. Now, you can finally do your mean. So the mean formula is sum of frequency times x. It means you have to take your x, which is the data. In this case, it will be the midpoint lah, because it's a group data. And then times with the frequency. So 9 times 7 plus 12 times 4 plus 15 times 1 plus 18 times 3 plus 21 times 5. Okay, so take the midpoint, which is the x, multiply times with the frequency. And then everything divide with the total frequency, which is 20. Because they already mentioned it up here, that's 20. Okay, now it's time to press calculator. So the total atas will be 285 if you press correctly. And then when you divide, you will get 14.25. So the answer, you see it already, it's C. Okay, let me double check with my calculator. Yes, correct. Okay, let's continue. Okay, number 38. Which of the following is involved in the third process of financial management? Okay, this one is definitely Form 4 Chapter 10. Yeah, because financial management, yeah, is the Form 4 chapter. Okay, this chapter you learn that there is five steps, or you can say, yeah, 5 steps in financial management. And if you are my student, you will remember that I asked you to memorize the 5 steps. Okay, so okay, I'll mention to you the 5 steps. Step 3, step 4, step 5. Okay, step number 1, the keyword is goal. Goal. Okay, and then the full name is setting goals. Okay, but you can just hafal the keyword. Yeah, goals. The keyword is goal. Step 2, the keyword is status. Status. And then the full name is evaluate financial status. Okay, that's the second step. Third step, create financial plan. And the keyword is create plan. Step 4 is carrying out the plan. Carrying out the financial plan. And then the step 5 is review and revise the progress. Revise the progress. Okay, these are the 5 steps. So step 1, setting goal, is making sure you know what short-term goals you have and what long-term goals you have, and making sure what goals you want to prioritize, right? Whether your goal is a short-term or long-term. That's step one. Step two, evaluate financial status is looking at you have to look at your asset and your liability. Okay. Step three, this is when you want to create the plan, and then step four, carry out. This one, review, revise. Okay. Uh, okay. So tell me, what is the third step? Create financial plan. So A is the answer. Okay. Yeah. So this one, nothing much to explain actually. You just have to make sure you remember all the five steps, right? Oh, and one more thing, the financial management. I realize they don't come out in trial that much, but sometimes I see it comes out in paper too. Very rare, very rare. But when they come out, they usually ask about the smart, yeah, the smart approach, and the smart approach is under step one. Okay, they will ask you to write the SMART, right? Like they will give you a story, like a situation, and then ask you to write the right using the smart approach. Like S is a specific, M measurable, A attainable, R realistic, T time bound. They ask that in paper too. Yeah. Okay. So make sure you know that also. But that one is under step one lah. Yeah, the setting goals one. Okay. Okay. But for this question, they don't ask that. They would only ask for the steps. So make sure you just hafal the five steps. Okay, that's all. 39. Puan Amy owns a terrace house with an insurable value to 350,000. The house is insured with fire. Okay, I see the word fire. I know which chapter already. It's fire insurance. Okay, I'll give you the notes first for fire insurance. So, amount of required insurance equals co-insurance percent multiply with insurable value. Okay, guys, you have to know something. When you're doing the insurance question, doesn't matter fire insurance or medical insurance or whatever insurance, you should always hafal the formula and remember all the steps to do it. Okay, so for fire insurance, these are the formulas that you need to know. So always start with this formula. Always. Okay, you will always start with this formula. After you do this formula, you check whether it's step one, case two, or case three. Okay. Okay, what is case one? Case one is when your uh, insured value is equals to the required value. It means after you get your required here, and if the amount you purchased, insure means purchased. Insure and purchase is the same thing. So if the amount purchased or the amount insured is exactly the same with the required, then the formula to calculate compensation is just loss minus deductible. And of course, they will give you the loss and deductible in the soalan. Okay, that is case number one. What is case number two? When your insured value is less than the required value. It means the option required is this amount, but you chase less than the required amount. So what happens to your compensation? Your compensation will be less lah. Yeah, it will be lesser. And the formula to calculate that is you have to take the purchased ataupun the insured value. Purchase and insured is the same. So the purchased amount over the required amount times with loss minus deductible. Itu kalau dia case 2. Okay. And also for case 2, they sometimes might ask for this, the co-insurance penalty. The co-insurance penalty. Okay. And the way I teach my student is take the other side of the fraction. Take the other side of the fraction. So if purchase over required, what's the other side of the fraction? You will take the required minus with the purchased over with the required times with loss. That's all. Yeah. So for example, if this one is 205, let's say lah, 205, then what is the co-insurance penalty? 305 lah. But the 305 have to times with the loss lah. The deductible no need. Yeah, the deductible no need. Yeah. So that's what it means. Okay. And usually the case 2 is the one that students struggle with, because case 2 the formula is much more complicated compared to the case 1 and case 3. Okay. Okay, let's talk about case 3. I don't have space lah. What should I do? Okay, can I make this smaller? Bam, bam. Okay, case 3, I'll write it here. Case 3 is when suffer total loss. Dalam bahasa Melayu, kerugian menyeluruh. Kerugian menyeluruh means everything lost. The whole house got burned and nothing left. Okay. So for total loss, the compensation, you just take the insurance purchased minus deductible. Okay. So your students have to make sure you all know all about, yeah, know everything about this. Okay. Of course, in the exam, they will not ask for all three cases lah. They will either ask this, or ask this case, or this case. But you never know. You never know what they will come out. So you have to make sure you know all of it. Yeah, all three cases you have to be aware, and you have to buat banyak latihan to make sure you know all this, right? Okay, now I will explain using this question. Okay, so remember, for fire insurance, always start with this formula. Always, okay, you have to start with this. Without this, you cannot find the compensation. Okay, you need to get your required first. Always get your required first. Okay, okay, let's go. Puan Amy owns a terrace house with an insurable 350,000. This one confirm can put inside here later. Insurable value, right? The house is insured with fire insurance with 75% of insurable value and deductible of 3,000. Okay, you can already find the required. Just take so the required will be 75% times with 350,000 lah. But sir, what about the deductible 3,000? That one jangan tengok dulu. That one bila cari compensation baru tengok. When compensation baru ada deductible. Now I'm trying to find the required first. Okay. So let's press 75 divide 100 times 350,000. So the required amount is 262500. So this is the required. And dalam bahasa Melayu is jumlah yang harus dibeli. Required means harus dibeli. Okay, let's keep reading. Deductible 3,000. Okay, if Puan Amy's house encounters a total loss, so automatic is case 3 already, right? How much compensation will be accepted by Puan Amy? So you see the word total loss, kerugian menyeluruh. Now we know it's case 3, so we will not be using the case 1, case 2 formula. So we will be using the case 3 formula, which is take the insurance purchased minus deductible. Okay, but the soalan never tell us how much she purchased, right? It means if they never said it means she purchased at the required value. Yeah. Usually the soalan should tell you one, like berapa dia purchase, but this question never said. So it's a bit weird. But if they never say means, yeah, we can assume that it's they beli same amount with the required lah. Yeah. So I will just take 262500 minus with the deductible 3,000. And if you press this, you'll get the answer. 259500. So the answer is B, boy. Okay. So let me just double check one more time with the calculator. Why different? Did I make a mistake here? 262500, right? So minus with 3,000. Yeah, 259500. The answer is B, boy. This one is 3,000, not 300. Yeah. So this is correct. Okay, that's all. All right. Number 40, finally, is the last question. Okay, let's finish it. Wafi owns a residential house in, I don't know how to pronounce this, Ketere. Okay, I remember I made a video talking about the Kelantan slang. Yeah. Okay, out of topic already lah, but yeah, yeah, the Kelantan slang is very confusing. Yeah. For someone like me that's not familiar with the slang, yeah, I don't know how to, I don't understand the slang. Okay, and also I'm not good at pronouncing the Kelantan slang. Okay, but that's not important lah. Okay, let's continue. He received property assessment tax. Okay, guys, this comes out so often in the trial paper, in the SPM paper also. Yeah, so you all have to make sure you really know about the property assessment tax. So this one is from 5 chapter 4, and they really ask this a lot. The cukai pintu. Yeah, property assessment tax is cukai pintu. So the moment I see this, I will tell you about the formula. So make sure you all know this formula. Property assessment tax for 1 year. For 1 year, the formula is you take the annual value times with the property assessment tax rate, and the rate is always in percent, always, always. Okay. And one more thing you want to know, you need to know is the annual value actually comes from where? It comes from monthly rent times 12. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes they will not give you the annual value, but they give you the monthly rent. Then you times 12 lah. Then you get the annual value already. So this one comes out a lot, the property assessment tax. I believe it comes out in my last in the SPM Sebenar also. SPM Sebenar 2024. Yeah, they also comes out. This one memang selalu comes out one. Yeah, in paper one. Okay, let's go. It is given that the annual value is 9,000. So masuk lah 9,000. And then times with the property assessment tax rate is 5%. Okay, masuk 5 or 100. Calculate the property assessment tax payable for half year. Okay. Tak apa, we cari for 1 year first. 9,000. Boleh potong, 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 potong. So I get 450. Okay, 450 ada jawapan dekat sini kan? But jangan bulat jangan bulat 450. This one is for 1 year. I want half year. So I have to take 450 divide by 2. So the answer should be 225. A is the answer. Okay. Okay, kertas tamat. So I'm done with this paper. Alright, next video I will do the Kelantan paper 2. Okay, and if you all interested to gain the early access to my video, you all can join my member lah. All the links are in the description. And also subscribe if you want more. Alright, I'll see you next video. Bye bye.